Hey everybody, welcome to Smiley Stories World. Whether you've been here from the very beginning or today is your very first visit, I want to say thank you for being here. Come on in, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable. Because around here we believe in truth, respect, and a little bit of smiley. This is more than a YouTube channel. This is family. Every day's another journey, another story yet to tell. Through the highs and through the heartache, we walk this road so well. We're chasing hope with open hearts, searching one step at a time. When we stand together, even the darkest days can shine. You're more than just a username, you're more than just a face. You're part of something special, a warm and welcoming place. Take my hand, don't lose hope, keep believing. We'll help each other cope. Truth, respect, and a little bit of smiley. That's the way we live each day. Smiles all around, we'll find out together. World, right where we belong. Some days laughter fills our hearts, some days tears may fall, but kindness keeps us standing, love carries us through it all. Different thoughts, different stories, different roads we've known, but respect builds understanding, and this place feels just like home. One smile can change a moment, one prayer can change a day, one caring heart can make a difference in the biggest kind of way. Lift each other, share some hope, love a little louder, help each other cope. Truth, respect, and a little bit of smiley. Let your light shine bright. Smiles all around, we'll find out together through the night. Hey, truth, respect, and a little bit of smiley. Hope will lead the way. Together we are stronger every single day. Now I want to say something that's very important to every one of my moderators. Thank you. Thank you for helping make this community welcoming, for treating people with kindness, for watching over our little corner of YouTube. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. To every subscriber, thank you. For every view, every thumbs up, every comment, every share, every prayer, every encouraging message. You have helped build something beautiful. To every supporter, to every friend, to everyone who's believed in Smiley Stories World, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I truly couldn't do this without you. This isn't just my journey, it's our journey. Truth, respect, and a little bit of smiley. Come on everybody, sing. Truth, respect, and a little bit of smiley. Smiles all around, we'll find out. One heart, one family. Truth, respect, and a little bit of smiley. Never giving up, always showing kindness, always choosing love. To the naysayers, smile around and find out. Because we don't hear you, we stand for truth, honest respect, and a little bit of smiley. That is what makes us smile over here. June 15th, Tennessee. Ben Hill Road still calls to me. Little barefoot angel child, blue-eyed smile and spirit wild. 5 years old with golden hair, love and laughter everywhere. Purple dresses swinging high, twirling circles in the summer sky. Oh, summer moon, Utah Wells, your story still hurts like hell. No footprints left, no goodbye, just questions underneath these Tennessee skies. And sweet girl, wherever you are, you still shine like a northern star. The world still whispers your name, and not a soul has forgot your face. Thousands searched those hills and trees, church bells rang through Tennessee. TBI and FBI, still no answer, still asking why. Time kept moving, years rolled by, but some wounds never say goodbye. 22 it says, and silence remains. Still people cry when they speak your name. Oh, summer moon, Utah Wells, your story still hurts like hell. No footprints left, no goodbye, just questions underneath these Tennessee skies. And sweet girl, wherever you are, you still shine like a northern star. The world still whispers your name, and not a soul has forgot your face. Summer, you never left my heart. I'm sorry this world could not find you. I'm sorry answers never came. But little girl, you matter, you still matter. And somewhere beyond all this pain, I believe you dance again. Oh, summer moon, Utah Wells, heaven still remembers well. A little girl with love inside, whose light this world could never hide. And sweet child, if angels sing, I hope they sing your favorite things. Purple sunsets, summer rain, and puppies running through the hills again. Purple in the sky tonight, hold her close, Lord, through the night. And as long as this old world turns on, summer moon, you'll never be gone. You always have a place in Smiley's heart, and in the world's heart too. We will never stop remembering you.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for being here. Good morning or good afternoon, Janice. Hello, Miss Sharon. Good to see you. And Raymond, hello, hello. Kimberly, hello. Good to see you too. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. Holly, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Michelle, nice to see you. Come on in, get you some coffee, honey. Anybody in the bushes? Hello, hello. Anybody around watching on replay or anything like that? Hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. Appreciate you very, very much. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Monday so far. So far, so good on Monday, right? Lord, what has been going on with y'all? What's been going on? You know, a girl's got to sleep. I went to sleep and all kinds of things popped up. All kinds of things popped up. all the things, honey. Yep. So I hope everybody is doing well. Come on in. You sleep around here, you miss a whole lifetime, and that's the truth. That is the truth. Please come on in, grab your coffees, your drinks, your eggs, your bakey, your wakey. I don't know. Grab it all. Come on in, share, subscribe, like, do all the free things, hype after the live. Let's get this community going. You know, you can hype 3 times a week after the live. Use it or lose it, honey. Use it or lose it. All those things are free. All those things are free. I wanted to get into some things this morning. It's very interesting. First thing I woke up to, I seen the McCoy and Neighbor feud is still going on, although they said there was not going to be a Kentucky-Tennessee feud. I'm just saying that is still going on, right? All of that. Before we get started, let's play something here. Just hold on just a minute. Full credit goes to Evil Exist. Thank you, Raymond. Whoop, whoop. Thank you. Raymond gifted a Smiley Stories World membership. I appreciate you, Raymond. And y'all see, I got my little videos fixed. I found my button. I found my way off of restricted. I restricted myself, but I found it. So we're going to watch some video today. Today, honey, is the day. Kimberly said, I feel special. I feel special. Did you get that membership? Oh, Lordy. Well, y'all come on in. Come on in. Hey, Bama Cat. Hello, hello. Welcome in. So we're going to watch this. This is Evil Exist. I don't know how long it'll stay up here. I don't know why it does that, but everybody's videos belong to them, and no infringement intended. This is all for learning, for education purposes, for awareness, and all of those things. My copyright is right, or I thought it was right down here. But anyway, y'all put the copyright in, and please drop Evil Exist, and anybody that I play, please drop their video, because they do get all the credit. It is their work, and they worked hard for that. But we're going to listen to this. Evil Exist. I used to play them and listen to them all the time in Summer Wells' case, and they have a lot of good information, in my opinion. But I just wanted to play this one to get us started out. So let's just listen here.
And but the first time I met Candace was after an incident, like I said, we'll get back to, which is now part of what we're trying to all figure out. But anyway, she was on a dirt bike with the next youngest, and I'm not gonna call names other than Summers. And diaper full on that one, hanging off, old as the hills. And his little sippy cup, it's full of liquor. I know that because of, announced it like it was something to be prideful about. He wants something to drink. She told him no, we couldn't have that because it had her liquor in it. hello, new neighbor, right? And then the first day I met her, she was telling me about a church calling for Easter and how they didn't really do that. But there was this church, and you get the free back at this one, or you could get $100 in this one. And wouldn't know if I joined. I'm like, man, I'm not into that stuff. Y'all know I'm atheist, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my type of people, sort of thing. And then asked if I go there just to help her. I'm like, no, ma'am. Anyway, what I didn't realize, nor did any of the rest of the neighbors who knew them closely, was that she was pregnant that whole time. And I have the messages to prove when we all found out Summer existed, which was after she was born.
And for those of you that don't know, I find it hard that a lot of people following this case didn't know. But I'm just going to throw it out there anyway. Again, maybe it'll stick, maybe it won't. Who knows? Maybe it'll go right over your head. So Jody Sue is saying that Candace was pregnant the whole time and nobody even knew it. And she was also saying that she gave her alcohol and liquor in her bottle. I believe that. I can believe that. But what I'm going to throw out here again that I guess has went over a lot of people's head is, you know, why is it Mary, Dawn's sister, even said, hey, we didn't even know about Summer. We didn't know about Summer, right? We didn't know nothing about Summer. And that was Dawn's very own sister, right? That was Dawn's very own sister. And so, yeah, I can believe it. Everybody's so quick to talk about Jody's a liar and all that. Maybe she is, but I think she does have some good information. But just don't count out 110. I'm not going to. Let's continue.
Because in the middle of a snowstorm, here they come in February with a car seat and had to park at the end of the lane at Ben Hill and walked in with Summer because you couldn't get into the road. And I and the other neighbors immediately, they messaged me and were like, do you see this? And I was like, see what? And they were like, they just walked in with a brand new car seat. I'm like, you're kidding me. We were all like, holy shit, another one.
Thank you, Raymond.
Great.
Now, she said, the neighbors called her and said, do you see this? See what? She just had another kid she brought in. Jody Sue said, oh, great. Another one. Well, that don't make Jody Sue capable, or it doesn't make her guilty of doing anything. Some people have kids and are just glad they're out of their hair, but who knows with these kids? We've seen these kids at the fair, and no fault of their own. Trust me, no fault of their own. They had no raising. So, yeah, I guess it was a, oh, great moment, right? Just saying. Just saying.
And then when I first got to meet Summer, she was rigid. Every time you'd hold her, she was stiff as a board. She cried. She had the fetal alcohol sitting in her ears like her siblings kind of did when they were younger. And obviously that whole time I had watched, but we didn't know she was pregnant. Every day drinking. So then, a few months goes by. I'm not over there. I'm not really paying attention. And I go over there at a certain point for some reason, who knows, still trying to be friendly with these new neighbors I'd met. And concerned for other people's children despite our own situation on there, which at that time everything was going pretty smoothly for a few years on our hill. It was one of the rare times, lasted for
Hey,
4
Tennessee
years in a row.
Twister.
So it was calm my way. So at that point, I guess I had the ability to throw stones. Either way, their well water was straight sulfur, bad, to where when you turned it on, and that's nobody's fault in there. Well water is well water. Each one's different. But if it's this bad and discolored, you go get bottled water, especially for a baby. Nope. And I was standing there watching as it wasn't formula, but a little bit of milk, mostly water, and oatmeal for one that was not even, a few weeks old, like a month or two. And I was like, holy, like hell, you can't do that. You're gonna hurt that baby, Like, no. So, formula I had, they send you mail for like 25 years after you have a child. I happen to have a son. I gave it to him. After that, I guess whatever, contact was intermittent off and on throughout the years, depending on. But, there's also a reason my kids and theirs never really hang out. Because it was like, you know? Mm-mm. It wasn't their fault, you see. I knew it wasn't their fault. They couldn't help that. Couldn't help how they were being raised or done or anything like that. But, and I don't even know that the other hill realizes. But I know at first I thought, well, they don't have money to feed them. They don't have this, they don't have that. So I would bring groceries over and do whatever. So would other neighbors, churches, whatever. But then you
Sorry. My question to her is, though, and to anybody who saw all of this going on, the alcohol, all the things. See, the Creek people, they don't like up there meddling, and they don't like anybody meddling in theirs. But my question would be to her is, did you call anybody? I'm just curious. I'm not, you know, or did you just go, no ma'am, no ham, that's not right, you know? No ma'am, no ma'am. You can't do that. You're going to hurt her. We don't know if Jody was one of the calls that had been made. We don't know. But she knows this is wrong.
start to realize over a length period that there's all kinds of money, just like there's always all kinds of money. Man, even Andy could bring in like 1,000 plus a week, and they would still be able to drop more and afford more. But you'd watch in the evenings as the liquor was bought, and as the cigarettes were bought, and this and the other, and case of beer, but then like a box of off-brand Q corn dogs, right? And not even enough in totality for the entire family. And sitting on the bar like it was some great fucking feat. But then when there was a new engine that needed to be bought or anything like that, here's that money immediately available, same day, thousands of dollars. Wouldn't leave her with any money, but had a bank account. And we always thought maybe inheritance is the other, although we're told there are other things that have been for a while now.
So that belongs to Evil Exist. Go over and sub up to Evil Exist. They got a lot of Summerwell videos, actually. Me too, Sharon. Me too. Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. Every time I said something about Candace having fetal alcohol syndrome, it would be ignored. Yeah, well, you know, I think a lot of people now, even people who took up for her and what she did to her children and stuff like that, even those closest to her, I have heard come out and say things against, because they know deep in their heart. That's just my opinion. That's just things I've took away, and that's me, you know. But who knows? But I see this feud right here is still going on and still spilling over in Hawkins County. They say that it's not, they're not pointing at anybody or whatever, but they can run their channel any way that they want to. Hey, Kiki, good to see you. Thank you for being here. But it's heating up, right? Her live last night, her live title, I haven't got a chance to watch all of it because it was so long. And I just woke up not long ago and I haven't had a chance to really catch up, and I'm trying to do my own work, right? But her live last night, her title of her live was, this is what I want to talk about as well, was ask the right questions, pay attention. The devil is in the details. Thank you for being a member. Love you. Whoop, 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 whoop. Jody's very intelligent when it comes to putting these titles up, but I think she's very right. And I'm not coming on here every day being a Jody supporter. Do not get me wrong. Please do not get me wrong. Okay. We've all paid our dues with her. Okay. We paid our dues with this entire case. But her title, let's talk about that a minute. Let's just talk about it a minute. Ask the right questions. Pay attention. The devil is in the details. That pretty much means, well, in my opinion, that pretty much means listen to what's being said. Notice what's not being said. You know, I know Tennessee Twister, and it's fine. Everybody can have their own thoughts and opinions. Everybody. It's fine. It also means sometimes the devil's really not there. They're right there in the details. It means slow your roll. I'm telling you my version, okay? It means slow your roll. Don't assume. Stop overlooking. Stop overlooking all them small details, right? Examine everything. You know, examine it all. Stop pointing fingers. Go back and examine everything. Yep, read between the lines. Yep, I always say that too, read between the lines. Who was the last person to see someone? Who was the last person to see Summer? Who reported her missing? Where and who was the very last sighting at? Where? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, nobody, please don't dox anybody. Been there, done that. Sorry. Sorry, Tennessee Twister. Especially the people that is up in that neck of the woods. That's not good. People think you're joking when you say it's dangerous. It's not a joke. It's not funny. I'm sorry, Tennessee. I'm so sorry. What's changed or what's changed over time, right? I mean, ask yourself, is there any contradictions? Is there any statements that or stories that have changed, or are they all the same? What evidence confirms anything? Evidence is not just a statement supporting it. Hey, wait, what? Good to see you, honey. Yep, she was gone, just gone. Hey, Cassie. I think it, no, I don't know. Oh, they were interviewing Jody Sue. If it's old, I probably have, but I don't know if you're talking recent. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe you're talking about, well, we'll get to all that. Hey, Mimi. Hello, everybody coming in. Yeah, anything old, I've probably seen it. Probably seen it tens of thousands of times. Well, Grandma got gone real quick. Jody got gone. I don't think that was, if you really think back though, I don't think that was no choice of her own. Might have been, but that was Andy's parents' home. Yeah, I got that one too, Marlena. I'm not sure who was interviewing. Are you talking about recently today or I mean yesterday? But yeah, Grandma got gone real fast. She wasn't worried about getting gone. Grandis wasn't worried about. Oh yeah, he sure did. He sure did, didn't he? He wasn't worried about getting. She wasn't. Grandis wasn't worried about getting gone though. The entire time she was not supposed to be around any kids though. She propped her butt right up there. But when all this went down, she got gone. My eyes are not off of her. And don't think she's this old lady who is just the sweetest pie and bakes the kids cakes every day, because no, it's not true. It's not true. She showed herself many times on here, and she showed by her actions where's she at. And she got on the news and lied, right? And don't forget, she wasn't too old and feeble when she could hit Benny Keys on the ass when he was up there, right? Hey, I see you. Hello, hello. No, I didn't see it. I was asleep. I just saw Ernie's this morning. Who, you can say it. Who was interviewing Jody? You can say it. Say it. I'm not going to be upset. Who was interviewing Jody? I don't know, but I don't think he had any. I mean, just my opinion. Planned or not, she did the right thing. Her, Andy, whoever did the right thing, in my opinion. And he made the right choice to go in the military and get the hell out of Beach Creek, in my opinion. In my opinion, that was the right thing to do. But is there any contradictions? What evidence? What evidence? Pay attention. Snap out of it. Notice stuff. Notice behavior, unusual behavior, not just a neighbor sitting in the car 24/7. Maybe she has her reasons. Again, I'm not here to take up for Jody Sue. I'm not here to be a Jody Sue supporter. But when you're an investigator for over 40 years, in my opinion, and a teacher and a professional, you should be able to figure these things out, right? What is it that they don't want you to talk about? Who? What? What are they not saying? Words, actions, things like that, they just don't add up. You know, get your handy dandy little notebook, okay? Get your handy dandy little notebook. Oh, he interviewed Jody last night? Did he interview Jody last night? Are you serious? Is that who interviewed? Then I got up the wrong damn thing. Well, shit. Did she break down and talk to him, or am I? Oh, why is his? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I started to say, damn, that was a cold day, unthawed real quick. I'm just saying. Oh, I haven't watched that. I have not watched that. Look, I'm getting there. I'm slow. I'm slow, people. I'm slow, okay? But listen, the tiniest little details, the smallest ones, just might change everything if you're smart. So again, I loved her title. I hadn't even watched all of hers yet, okay? I haven't even watched all of hers. See, law enforcement, investigators, PIs, these people who are supposed to be law enforcement, who are supposed to be retired 40 years, you know, everybody. Pay attention to these things, people say. That's one thing I'm getting out of her title. And that's just me, myself, and I, and Smiley, and the third, fourth, fifth person, whatever you want to call me. I really don't care. I mean, the exact wording, the words, how it's said. Pay attention. But then again, sometimes you can miss the boat. Sometimes that will go over people's heads, right? Maybe look, listen, and pay attention. I think it's already been told to all of us what's happened to Summer. But look, listen, and pay attention. If there's anything or any unexplained phone calls, any missing stuff, any of those kinds of things, pay attention. Pay attention to what's not being said, right? Sometimes the most important question is not the obvious question, but it's something nobody thought to ask. Might sound silly to you, but maybe it's something that somebody just thought to ask, just forgot to ask, didn't think to ask. Wow. They said Fred don't need receipts. Well, you know, I've been there with him. Fuck it, I ain't showing receipts either unless I have to, but don't make me. Don't make me. So I'm not going to down him for that. He's already getting a bunch of shit from me. So you need all receipts? They all need. Yeah, they all do need receipts. They all need receipts. Do they have them? I don't know. Yeah. Isn't that funny, Sharon? You know, one overlooked detail can be the key. My advice to the people Hey, Grace. Good morning. My advice to the people who are, in my opinion, playing games. Jody's right. The devil is in the details. So pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to all that, right? Stop hearing what you want to hear. Stop judging. Listen to what is not said. What's not being said, what hasn't been said, or read between the lines. Follow the facts, not the noise. Stop making assumptions, verify information. That's a hard lesson to learn, so we can all give people our advice on that. I know I can. I've started listening better too, Sharon. Sharon said I started listening better. We've been there. We've learned by our mistakes, especially in this case. Sometimes just because people's older don't mean they're wiser. That's obvious. Stop making assumptions. Verify your information. Stop running with it, saying, you don't care. I don't care if I get sued. We sold everything. I don't care. Blah, 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 blah. Of course you care. Everybody cares. You might not have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You might live in a tent. Okay. You may be the brokest homeless person under the bridge, but you give a damn if you get sued or not. Stop it with that already. Stop the blah, 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 blah. Stop it. Thank you. Just stop it already, right? Trust me, people don't care about that. Hell, they don't care if you're loaded, and they don't care if you're broke as a joke. They still gonna sue you if they take a notion on these YouTube streets. They don't care who you are or who you're akin to or what your name is or who your family is or what your family's going through. They don't care if you got kids. They don't care. People don't care. You heard me talking to freaking Miss Becky, the 38-year secretary of Dan Armstrong's. I'm sure her ears been pressed up against that door many times. But you also heard me tell her, look, if it come down to it, if it was yours, if it was mine, if it was yours, if it was your grandchildren, do you think they're going to care? Do you think your DA's going to care? Do you think your, as she called them, sheriff's office is going to care? Ronnie Lawson, do you think they're going to care? What'd she say? She didn't know me from Adam. I never spoke to that woman. What'd she say? Well, no. She knows it. She knows it to then, and she knows it to this day. Just like I'm sitting here telling you, people don't give a damn what you got, don't got, what you sold, what you haven't sold. They don't care if your mama, your child, your dog, your toenails fell off. They don't care who's dead, who's alive. They don't care. And they don't care that you've been a 40-year cop. Nobody cares about that. I don't know about nobody else, but I fucking don't. But hey, do you, boo, do your channel. It's your channel, just like this is my channel. We can all do our channels the way that we want until and unless YouTube says we cannot. But please don't care about wrong information. You're investigating. I think sometimes when you investigate, you're supposed to be doing that in private. If you ask me, I don't know. Hell, I wasn't a cop 40 years. I don't fucking know. Don't ask me. I blab everything. My son is going to school for criminal justice. His ultimate goal is to be an FBI working on missing kids cases because of Sebastian. Oh, bless his heart. Bless his heart. Yeah. One of my mods said a long time ago, her son, we would talk, and he would be on there. He's so young, and he would say, he wanted to do stuff like that just because of us talking and stuff. He's so smart. He's so smart. But help kids. That's right. Wait, what? Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome, Emblem. That's awesome. But we don't have to add or take away from, right? We don't. Remember, the truth does not always announce itself. Do you hear me? The truth don't always announce itself. Sometimes it just whispers. Sometimes it just is quiet. Sometimes it just whispers. Okay, let's watch something else here. Hold on a minute.
With the FBI, and she passed her
Don B.
lie detector test, and then they told her to hurry down to
This
the
is
command
Don
center
B.
because they
Full
just
credit
got
to
a
Don
tip,
B.
So we're freaking out.
We're going to listen about Grandis.
All right, guys, what's going on? Hope you're having a good day. It's Friday. All right, so got some juicy stuff for you. Remember I said I was doing some digging? Oh, I was doing some digging. Ain't no clickbait here. Got a bunch of information on Grandis. And believe me, this stuff you're not going to get from WJHL. See, Grandis has not done a lot of talking, has she? Now, everybody wants to know what Grandis thinks. I'm about to let you know. And by the way, thanks everybody for all my subs, members. If you're not either and just watch the channel, appreciate the support. Let's go over this. Allegedly, Grandis knows that Dawn was messing with Summer. So,
I think Grandis knew a lot of things, but that's okay. She's just a nice, sweet grandma. Everybody has done things, right, mister? And everything's just fine and dandy, right? Yeah, I don't think he went to jail, Miss Grace. I think he just had to go to court. Yeah, all that was dismissed. It's fine. Don B's a good guy.
how's that play out now? Because Summer's not here. If that's the case, Summer would have to be the evidence. And Summer's not here. And you know what strikes me odd about that? Dawn told me a long time ago, dude, if I catch another felony, I'm gone to prison for 25 years to life. So if he was messing with Summer, allegedly, like Grandis thinks he was. That's a hell of a motive right there. It's a hell of a motive, guys. Oh, and Dawn, if you're on a channel later, whatever, would you maybe care to explain why Grandis thinks that you were messing with Summer? What a bombshell statement right there. All right, let's dive into the second one here. Grandis also knows you didn't pass your lie detector test, Dawn.
Now listen to this, because we have talked about in the last few days, allegedly Dawn's paperwork has got lost at the jail, or they lost it at the jail, or he lost it at the jail, something, right? Because I said, well, why didn't you go back and request another one? Just like your light bill, hell, I could pull up my account number, this, that, and the other, but sometimes I'm just too damn lazy and I just have the phone in my hand. I feel like calling, what's my account number, right? If I'm gonna pay the bill, because you just can't do that shit. Unfortunately, people can't even take money anymore, but whatever. You get the point. Don could have got that copy if he would have wanted to. He didn't give a damn about that. They would be showing it to everybody, in my opinion. True or not, I don't know. Maybe he did. Those don't hold up in court, so it don't really matter. Okay. I've always told you my feelings on that and what it means to me if you take one or you don't. That's neither here nor there. But I know Candace was in her car upside down. Allegedly she passed, and allegedly, she didn't bring it out. She sure brought them CPS papers out, though, to Nana for Life, and boy, some embarrassing, horrible, horrific things, though, right? She didn't mind showing to YouTubers. But polygraph, anybody seen one? But again, it don't matter. It really don't. It don't. Where the hell is Summer? My eyes are not off at 110.
Yeah. Allegedly, Grandis says that you didn't pass your lie detector test.
And thank you, Mimi Jean.
Now,
I meant to say thank you for my jewels. Thank you, honey.
And that there was a tip that just came in, and y'all are freaking out, and you got to go down to the command center. We know Ronnie Lawson said you passed. But why would
Ronnie lies
too,
and police can lie to you. Evidently, over there, they could actually bring you liquor and stuff too, huh? Did y'all do that, Fred? Did you take the drunks liquors and stuff? I'm just wondering what goes on in Kentucky. That's just for my own reference. Just curious.
Now, here's one, guys. Here's some insight from Grandis that is very interesting. Grandis thinks that Jody Sue might be involved. Now, where that's coming from...
Oh, hold on a minute.
I do not know.
Hold on. We're going to go back to that. Because, see, if Fred watches this, or even if he don't watch mine and he watches John B's and he sees that, that's all he's going to take out of this entire thing. That's what's so upsetting. Let's just go back.
Here's some insight from Grandis that is very interesting. Grandis thinks that Jody Sue might be involved.
Grandis
where that's coming from, I do not.
Grandis thinks. Grandis pointed them fingers quick, and then she got the hell out of Dodge, didn't she? Grandis thinks. I didn't know Jody Sue had a sister or another kid missing either, which is very strange to me, but hey. paid.
No. I'd love for someone to have Grandis on their channel to explain all these. They ain't coming on mine. I'll never have Dawn, Candace, or Grandis on my channel. No. I will never have them on my channel. No. But yeah. I'd like to know why Grandis thinks that Jody Sue's involved. Interesting, ain't it, guys? And again, we've never heard this information from Grandis. You're getting it here. WJHL ain't bring this to you. As far as I know, nobody's ever brought this up. I told you I was doing some digging. No clickbait here. And the last thing I want to dive into here is Grandis says, quote, I don't think Candace done anything wrong. I think it was Dawn.
Huh. They both had motive to get Dawn off of that property, if you ask me. But that's just me. They're all sickos up there, if you ask me. But there was motive there for Grandis and her to get Dawn off that property and get that house. Oh, I bet she would have loved that. Right? Didn't work out so well for her, though, did it? Sure didn't. Grandis.
Because I don't think he was at work that day. So you've got Grandis saying that she don't think Candace done anything wrong. And she is specifically by saying, I think it was Dawn. She's specifically saying that Dawn had something to do with Summer's disappearance.
No, she couldn't get it, but she could live in it, especially if they were married, which they got married after all the
Because
fact, allegedly.
She didn't think he was at work that day, Dawn. Care to explain that one when you go on someone's channel? So there's two things on here that Dawn, well, three, that Dawn really needs to explain if he can go on someone's channel and explain it. Why is Grandis saying that you were messing with Summer? Okay. Grandis is saying you didn't pass your polygraph test, Dawn. Care to explain that one? Because I mean, Ronnie Lawson said y'all did, but I mean, a lot of people are saying maybe he was up to something in line, or I don't know, maybe trying to get you all to react to it. Don't know. But Grandis is saying that you didn't pass your polygraph test, on. Grandis said that she did take one and she passed. I know that much.
Grandis says she took one and passed. I would love to see that. I'd love to see that, in my opinion, but that would only be for my records. It wouldn't be because I believed a damn thing she said, ever. Never.
And the other thing, Dawn, if you could care to explain, why would Grandis think that it was you? Again, let me read it. Quote, I don't think Candace done anything wrong. I think it was Dawn. because I don't think he was at work that day. Now, Dawn, you said you've got 7 alibis. Of course, you've not proved any of them. You said there's Starlink. You said you was at work. But as far as, proof, receipts, anything like that, we've not seen any of that, have we, guys? So anyway, these are some bombshell statements from Grandis. Told you I was doing some digging.
So y'all can go over there and watch Don B. Sub up to him. He has been on this case since day one as well. He's from that vicinity. He's not in the creek, but he has been up there many times. And yes, he did have to go to court for Candace said he was stalking her, but yeah, whatever. She would have had us all put in jail if she could have. Really, nobody's thinking about her, right? No, nobody. I don't think nobody's thinking about her. Okay, not in any of those ways. Just where's your kid? That's about it. And ask yourself, why are you pointing to other people's children? Why are you pointing to other people's children? Because I think personally you're barking up the wrong tree if you want to pull kids who is now adults into it. By all means, you got to know that. If you're entitled to think what you want to think, but get it right. Get it right. And for those coming in, Summer Moon Utah Wells is who we are speaking of. She still matters. She still matters. Yeah, and it's there's no doubt he was there that day. That it's just no doubt. It's none. He's there. But hey, did he show up for the job that morning? Did he leave? Did he go home? I don't know. I have no clue. Hey, Jack of all trades. Hello, hello, hello. Let's watch something else here. I got more to say, but let's watch something else.
Resides on Grady Light Road in Beach Creek. The Lights own a huge part of Beach Creek with not only
Prime and
one but
Al,
3
as who
roads
this is.
named after them.
You
The
won't.
Lights
Let me
also
turn
have
some
their
music
own
on here in
cemetery.
just a minute.
Even the drug kingpin arrested in 2012
hold
was a
on.
Light. In 2015, Frank Light was sentenced for exploitation of a minor.
Turn it down.
To my understanding, he got out of
Make
prison
sure you
for
put the
that crime in
disclaimer up.
2021,
And
about
also,
1 month
if you
before Summer
want
went missing.
people,
He
there's
is
been
now
all
a
kinds of people
registered SO,
investigated. There's
and a
been all
few
people
people have,
investigated by
since Summer
us.
vanished, came forward against Frank
You
Light,
want people?
claiming to
Here
have
you
been
go, sir.
SA'd by him in the past. Regarding his charges, there have also been claims made that the pictures found on the hard drive were even more gruesome than the verdict implies. Allegedly and claimed by the same person, he got a much lighter sentence because he helped take down a child P ring. I cannot back up or debunk such claims, so keep in mind to stay critical as always. Let's hear Shay describe some of the details.
I will never, ever reveal where I learned this at, because it's very personal and close, and I will not put anyone's in jeopardy. But let's just say, yes, there was some bestiality involved. Yes, there was some barbed wire involved with Mr. Light with a small child tied up with barbed wire, holding it. And the child, it was so young that it wasn't potty trained.
Right after Summer disappeared, her father, Don, was eager to go check on the druggists in the area. Frank Light is believed to be the first person he visited.
Like, I know he went to Frank Light's house the night of Summer got gone.
Please don't share this information, but they went and talked to Frank Light Friday, but I don't think we should share that information, please. But just to let you know. Also, I met not Frank, but his brother,
Fred,
before when he was on
or
horseback,
Steve.
and I was on my motorcycle. We were searching for that other girl that got gone, and that's when I met them, and we got to talking, him and his wife, and they decided to go one way, and I went the other because I had a dirt bike and I had horses. And TBI has used him in the search for Summer a few times. He's helped try to find Summer, on horseback in places that the TBI and them can't get to. The guy's lived there his entire life.
The Wells' direct neighbor, Jody Sue, however, does not believe Frank is involved.
So if I were to say, let me be Frank with you, and you could be Sally, and tomorrow we switch, what would you say? About being Frank. Is that the person's name? No. Okay. Start with an F?
It is.
Okay.
One, but the thing about that is even that person's been falsely targeted. That's not even like a main, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Knoxville, places like that are where I live. But here's this kid throwing out what he knows locally, right?
Candace had a noticeable reaction when the last name Light was mentioned, while also insinuating threats and being in fear for her life.
There's a whole bunch of stuff I could say. But no, there's a whole bunch of, but there's a whole bunch of stuff I can't say because it would jeopardize my life.
I think they're talking about Fred Light.
No.
Candace is worried about her life being jeopardized. What about her child's? Also, do y'all remember, I know Mohawk will, I couldn't find it. I was trying to do that before I went to sleep last night. Not only did she say she needed to put Summer aside, and all that stuff, but remember when they were fixing up the house, they were getting help, I should say, fixing up the house, or people was fixing up the house for them. I don't know their involvement, if they were helping themselves or not. Don he could do a lot of things, but he never did to the house. But anyway, that's beside the point. Get back to the farm. But do you remember those cups that were up there? Those cups that was on the shelf. I mean, to me, they're just dumb ass criminals that just record and show all this stuff. There is a such thing, mister. I'm just telling you. You should know that. But anyway, all the cups had Robin, thank you. I guess Robin helped her. But anyway, all the cups was up there with all the kids' name on it, except Summers. Y'all do realize that when my granddaughter even moved out of here, or my older child, that's my oldest child, that has not lived with me since he's got married years and years ago, he lives in Tennessee, I still include his name on things that's handmade, stuff like that. Same with my granddaughter. It's just weird to me. I don't know, but her missing child's her daughter, Summer Moon Utah Wells, there was not a cup for her there for when she got back, but it would be for the other boys. Huh. Maybe Genius over there at McCoy World could tell us that. I'm just curious.
Red light. It's red hill.
Frank is said to have been working on June 15th and has an alibi. But in a community where ties go back centuries and people may or may not have their own secrets, is it possible someone did him the favor?
So Anita Diver goes out there to go search this pond, and they come up to the end of the road, and here's this church. And then there's an old building there, which I know the man's name, but I'm not going to put it out there because we're wondering if he's the guy that gave Frank the alibi, because when Nita Diver got up there, Frank Light came out of that trailer that was sitting up behind the church, drunk, raising hell, telling them to all fuck off and get the fuck out of there. And Nita Diver called Cam and was like, hell, you didn't tell me fucking Frank Light was going to be up here. So what we're figuring is that guy that Frank was up there getting drunk with right up the road from where Frank's supposed to be, if he was up there getting drunk with that guy, and that guy is the one that gave Frank the alibi for cleaning out a fence row behind this church where his trailer is. Because wouldn't that just be convenient for a drinking buddy to give you an alibi?
All we know for sure is that Frank is guilty of possessing a hard drive with really disturbing pictures, but does he really fit in at the top of the suspect list? Could he be involved somehow, or did the Wells try to use him as a scapegoat? What do you think?
I think people need to start reading between the lines. I think it was Scott H. Sure was. Yeah, I believe what Jody said in her title, which I haven't got to watch it yet. The devil is in the details. Okay? That's what I think. But yeah, that was Scott H. Not a feud, not a famous or infamous feud. I don't know. Sure sounds like it to me. All right, let's go. Let's continue.
Smart people, and everybody's got their own theories. Again, our theories go from one way to the other. 1 minute, and that's the way an investigation is. You look at this, then something else comes up, and you start looking at that.
Thank you for the gold coins.
We've been tied up.
Thank you so much.
The
but
other
Jody
side
don't play their games. She don't play nobody's games.
Started out just doing a video on searching the 125 property, and then videos were made, and videos were made, and videos were made. Seems like it gave more and more. The old saying, why does people rob banks? Well, that's where the money's at. Why do you keep doing videos on this topic or that one? Well, that's where the material's coming from. That's where videos are being made. That's where your dollar's
coming from. I'm just asking.
Suspicions, and you do a video to put it out there to see what everybody else thinks. But this guy had an interesting point at Don. Now, again, we look at both sides of the hill as far as right now, 110 and 125. We haven't gotten any further than that because
Well, I just gave you a whole bunch of names and a whole bunch of victims. I dare you to go, or a whole bunch of names, not victims, sorry. Whole bunch of names. I dare you to go talk to them. You're not scared. You're not worried. Go. Bring it back to us. Bring it back. We'll listen. We'll listen to you. See, this whole internet is divided right now over this man and his wife. It shouldn't be like that, but it's okay. It's okay. We can all have our thoughts and our opinions. We can believe what we want to believe, but the blame don't need to go on nobody except where it needs to go on. And I'm not going to tell you how to think or how to feel. I'm just telling you how I think and how I feel. That's all. That's all. Summer deserves better than this. You know, it was a week or 2 weeks ago. I don't know if it's been 2 weeks yet. I haven't been able to keep up with it. I've been, this is cutting into Sebastian's time. This is cutting into others' time. Yes, summer is important, but this is nonsense if you ask me. But I'm going to cover it because I started out covering summers, right? But he left here because he got his feelings hurt. Couldn't hang with the big dogs, at least for 24, 48 hours. I don't know. And then, but he come back and said, even if it's drama, he's going to be in it. And then, but he said he knows for a fact. But see, now I guess his wife has kicked him a little bit too much because he has to go sit in his car. He don't like the kicking. He's even said that. And he's changed his tune a little bit. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm not that. Let me carry on. Let me just carry on, okay? Because I don't want to. I refuse to get my blood pressure up over this.
125, we got on it and we got stuck pretty much. But this fella seems to think that it's 110, seems to think that Don is a prime suspect. Very well could be. That's what I'm saying. See, we don't care who's right. There's no right or wrong in this missing Summer Wells case. No right or wrong. You go where the evidence leads you, where your gut leads you, and it's going to be interesting. If there was ever a game of Clue, this is it. This and Sebastian. I think pretty much Sebastian's case, people.
Oh, I want to scream.
And again, guys, that's what we're going to talk about here. In order to prove for a lot of prosecutors, and wisely so, if you're going to prove a homicide, you need a body or you need a witness. It's just that simple. It's just, again, I'll say it again. If you ever commit a homicide, don't let nobody see you and hide the body and don't let nobody see you. And you probably got away with it. That's sad to believe, but you may get away with it here on earth. Don't mean you're going to get away with it later, but let's go to the topic at hand. This fella says that Don was home the day that Summer came up missing, that he wasn't
Did you hear what Grandma said?
That's the way I understand it. And if I understand it correctly, supposedly Don was home that day. And I remember when we was doing the interview, and that's why we done the interview for, because you're thinking that, and that's why we talk to other people or get other people say things and other people talk, because the more they talk, the more chance you have for law enforcement, not us, but for law enforcement to review and watch and say, well, that's not what this person told us or that person. Or now, Sheila and I was watching a video the other night, and it's a very interesting video. We got certain YouTubers that we enjoy. We have.
Thank you for being a member for 3 months.
Techniques. We like
love you, girl.
Their calmness. We like the way they were interviewing it was a couple, and they was interviewing another man and woman that was local there. I don't know how long ago it was. I don't remember. And they were talking, and the gentleman they were talking to, he says, well, down at the mouth of the holler, I'm paraphrasing. I'm talking hillbilly because I don't know exactly what he said, but it was on, there's a camera. Evidently there was a trail camera, a ring camera pointed toward Ben Hill Road. If I understood correctly, Sheila and I. And that camera, it didn't point toward Beach Creek, so it's hard to tell which direction, but he said he thought he come from the direction of Lone Star, I believe is what he said. But
thank you
he
for the
says that
tools.
camera showed
Thank you for the sunshine.
Dawn
Wait, what?
coming
Wait,
home
what?
about
Love you.
5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there, whenever it was. It was in the evening. Now,
Hello, welcome in.
the question was, or mine and Sheila's question as we was watching this, did anybody see a red truck? Did anybody see any unusual vehicles go in or out of that? If there was a camera there and they got Dawn.
Oh, and I'm going to say it again. A lot of people had a red truck. A lot of people, Fred, but I'm going to say it again in case you missed this one too. Why, as a police officer, would you think, I mean, you might want to ask Chris McDough this. I have much respect for Chris. Chris McDonough is his name. Why, you know, oh, you can't make this up. You just can't make it up. Why would sweet little Robin, and the internet's divided on this too. I've been drugged for this for so many times and I don't really care. But why would sweet little Robin, you know, the one that had her giddy little backpack filled with snacks, to go up there and try to find, now do I think she took Summer? Nah. No, I don't even think she took Summer, but why would she mark out? Why would she mark out on all the flyers the red truck? Huh. See, a lot of people do a lot of things, but that don't mean that other people think they're guilty or they have to just bring their children into it. And frankly, I could be wrong. I think Robin is really ditzy. I don't think she would even know the first thing about taking somebody, but that's just my opinion. Oh, let's carry on. Lord have mercy.
Coming home from work, did they get any other vehicles between, say, 3:30 and 6 o'clock going up and down the holler? Is there anybody out of the way, a red truck, anybody that was unusual? That would be a clue. But going back to this fella, he says that he feels that Dawn was home that day. He's pretty confident of it, and he's pretty knowledgeable. I respect his opinion. My thing is this fella with this, if I remember correctly, the guy he says there was a camera down there and showed Dawn's vehicle coming home that evening. Now, he said law enforcement was coming in the holler and all this and that and everywhere, but he saw Dawn's vehicle. The guy asked him, said, could you tell which way he came from? It seemed like he said in the direction of Lone Star or something like that. He couldn't really tell. Now, my question here is, and again, I don't blame prosecutors for wanting a strong case, for wanting a body or a witness, but something like this is very important. Something like this, even though circumstantial or
it is very important, and he's going to say he wants to know, he wants to hear this for herself or find it out for herself or whatever. Even Dawn told Jenna, I had that. I'm looking for it as we speak, so I'm not watching the chat right now. I don't know if I can find it or not, but there was a video where Jenna was talking to Dawn, and well, if I can't find it, you'll just have to find it yourself, mister, because he was confronted about being home, I mean.
Even if you've got a video or you've got witnesses as to when Don did come home or when he did leave work or when his phone did ping in Jonesville or wherever as he came through, that's not as good as a body. It's certainly not as good as a witness, but it's something. Now, again, I don't know if this video's out or not. It's probably on Sheila's channel, the one we did yesterday. And that's what a lot of times when people try to contact us or something, we're probably in the middle of making a video or something. We don't answer it. I didn't even see this person, didn't even know that the person had messaged us or anything until I heard that on a video. And then Sheila's bad about not even checking her messages. And we don't check a lot of email messages because of viruses and different things. So that's why we tell everybody to contact the law enforcement. If you have anything, contact law enforcement. And let's go to this. Don Wells being home on that property the day that Summer went missing. If that's true and that's provable, that's big. To me, it would be. To Sheila and I, we've been up talking about it during the night. Since I got up and saw that, I woke her up. I said, look at this. And we thought it was interesting. So we spent the rest of the night talking about this. Because that's big. If Don Wells was home on that property that day, and he told others that he was in Jonesboro, and he told her to call the police that he's on his way home. Now that's, again, there's so many stories out here, so many YouTubers, so many different versions. But that's what we like, is out of their own mouth. If that's what Don says, that he was in Jonesboro and he came home, and that's what he told Sheila and I, said he was in Jonesboro and he come straight home. I wish I could have got to talk to him more. Poor old Candace, she didn't want me asking questions of Don, which is very suspicious, I thought. Sheila and I both did. Some people says, oh, they're looking at this person, or they're looking at guys. We don't point our finger at nobody specifically and say there's people we have questions. We have more questions of. That doesn't mean we're accusing that person. I would just wish we could have talked to her more, or Don. Now, getting to the point, because I'm going to make this short. Getting to the point, this is where the FBI would come in real good at in this case. And Don's been around the block. Don knows the law, and he knows the federal law on lying to the FBI, making false statements to the FBI. That's a good tool to have in your bag when you go to interview somebody, knowing that, well, you may go to investigate somebody for one thing and not be able to prove that, but you told the feds a fib in the process. Now you're looking at 5 years. Sometimes, just like Al Capone, we discussed it in another video, they didn't get Al Capone on the charges they wanted him on. They got him on tax evasion. Sometimes you have to take a side road. Sometimes you may not be able to find out what happened this summer or who did it for a fact. But if the sheriff's office or the TBI would take an FBI agent with them to question Don, and they asked Don, where was you at when you got the call that Summer was missing, or that you were at work? Were you at work all day? Yeah, I was at work all day. Okay, because we have got this video or that video or this phone ping, or where you wasn't, where you were here at the house at some point. You may not be able to charge somebody with doing something with the disappearance of Summer, but if you got...
All right, I guess I'm going to have to find it. I got it in my email somewhere because I sent it to myself the other day, but it is out there where Dawn was talking to Jenna. Now, there's a 6-hour one. I'm not going through that 6-hour one. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But there is a clip that I sent to myself, and we'll probably go over that one on the next. But McCoy did, in my opinion, say he knew for a fact what happened. He is, in my opinion, just my opinion, he is throwing certain ones under the bus as a fact, in my opinion. And now he's trying to backtrack. That's what I think. And then he wants to hear other things and other people. Please do your research. I'm just saying. Let me carry on.
Physical evidence, video footage, phone ping, time card, somebody at work, or anything that contradicts what he told that FBI agent and the interviewing officers. That's a charge. It's not a charge for anything dealing with his daughter, but if he's made a false statement to the FBI, that's a charge. That's 5 years. Well, maybe while he's serving some of that time, if he had anything to do with his daughter's death, maybe he'll come forward. Maybe if he sees he's going up for 5 years and somebody else was involved with him, or
yep, I got it somewhere.
With the disappearance of his daughter, maybe he says, hey, I'll just take that person with me. I'll just go ahead and I'm going away anyway. I honestly believe the perps wouldn't get over 5 years on a plea deal through an attorney. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. I'm not a prosecutor. I certainly can't speak for prosecutors. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a prosecutor. That's up to them. I just give my opinion. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a nobody. I'm an old man with an opinion. But I honestly believe that prosecutors at this point, in order to get that little girl back and find out what happened to her and close this case out, I have a feeling probably get 10 years probation and 5 or parole and so forth. It's just.
He thinks I couldn't help but giggle at that. I couldn't help but chuckle. And he thinks just come forward because, I mean, is that very helpful to tell somebody? I think I would just leave that part out, but maybe, hey, the good cop, trying to come out, but let's talk nice. That don't work with the beach freakers, and you got to speak other people's language, but you don't go in there and you don't go, well, I think you might get 10 years. Let's just tell everything, because you might get 10 years or 10 years probation. It'll work out for you, hun. Hey, bud, come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. See how that works out for you. Okay.
Just not knowing what happened this summer and where she's at is very important at this point. I don't know, but if there's
he knew the other day
for the person that says that he was home that day, I have a hard time. I have a hard time believing it, because if he was home that day and he's told the TBI or the sheriff's office or anybody that he was in Jonesboro working, and there's proof that he wasn't, then that's enough in itself. You've got a missing child, even though you don't have a body, even though you don't have a witness. I mean, that's
wait.
That's
But wait. We got the proof of that, honey. I mean, you're 5 years late, and I don't know how many dollars short you sold everything. I don't know what you spent, but listen. I'm just asking you, being the 40-year career person and all, that was enough. That's enough. If we got receipts, which we could pull out, it might be on the next live. That's enough. You maybe you can address this. Don't be like Don B. Address this in your next live, because you said you don't want to go on nobody's panel. Which, yeah, please stay over there. But when you talk, could you address then why has Ellie not charged him then, if that's enough? I think you're wrong. And why? People, y'all need to wake up. I'm just saying, keep your eyes wide open. This don't smell right at all, honey. It just don't.
Circumstantial, or it's not even circumstantial. That's proof. If you've got time cards or video, then that's a different story. Why would you lie about being in Jonesboro working when you're actually at home? And at home is where a child has come up missing. That's I don't believe you'd have a hard time getting a conviction with that evidence if it's in fact true. If there's absolute proof that he was home that day and he wasn't in Jonesboro, and there's absolute proof that he told the investigators that, hey, I was at work all day, then I think that's enough to, with this case going on as long as it is, and a missing child, and why would a person fib? Why would a person lie? Unless there's some.
I don't want to insult you, but are you for real, or a troll, or are you McCoy? I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. You can stay and welcome in, honey. I'm just curious. I was just looking at that name. Sorry. Sorry. But hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Sometimes I just shake my head. Welcome in. Thank you.
Kind of why? So again, I don't know. Sheila and I just do not know what Don and Candace's role, what Grandma's role played in this, what Hunter's role played in this, if any. We don't know what Miss Brown or Andy, Big Andy, Little Andy, Damien. We don't know what role they played in this, if any. That's as far as we've got. We started out looking, just reviewing the cases and
I'm just
YouTube
kidding,
videos.
girl. That name.
And we're learning a lot.
I'm just kidding. Welcome.
We don't learn a lot from listening to YouTubers themselves. What Sheila and I like is where people has actually talked to Jody, to Damien, to Andy.
He's getting people moving. It's getting people talking about summer again. Yeah, I mean, that is true. But Lord, do you have to be so silly about it? I'm just saying, Twissa. I'm just saying, honey. Just saying. Listen, we're going to listen to a few minutes more, and then I'm going to let y'all go over there and hear him, okay? Hold on just a minute.
To Don, to Candace. We like, and Grandma, seen an interview where they interviewed Grandma. We like where people's got their own mouths of moving, their own voices, their own, not what a YouTuber or somebody thinks or their opinion, but what they actually tell these news reporters or YouTubers. We that's what we like. Word just right out of their mouth. But this guy we watched, he said that he thought that the camera showed Don coming home that evening after the law enforcement started pouring in to go look for Summer, that Summer had been reported missing and Don come home. Now, I'm sure law enforcement has checked all this, but did he come home before that? Was he home that day? Was he home before Summer came up missing? And then he just went out of the holler and come back and they happened to see him then? And nobody went and looked at earlier video? I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did, but this fella brings up some interesting points, but there's ways around that.
Hello, honey.
May not have a body, may not have a witness, but
I hope that
If
was
there's
okay.
proof,
Good to
if there's
see you.
proof like that he was on that holler earlier that day, and he's telling the FBI or the TBI or somebody that he was in Jonesboro working, I think that's enough doubt there to, if I was on the jury, I'd find that hard to get back. You may not even get a conviction for
Oh, thank you, Don.
the
God knows
disappearance of
we
the
all been
daughter,
in this
but
together from day one.
sometimes
honey.
you got to take what you can
Oh.
get. You may not even charge with that. You may just charge with another state charge. But my avenue would be to team up with an FBI agent and let him ask the question. Did you come home once you left for work that morning and you went to Jonesboro? Did you come home at any point throughout the day? And if you had proof that he did, this person seems to think that Don was home that day. See, thinking something and proving it, that's two different things. We got to be able to prove, don't matter what we think. I didn't watch the whole video. I finally went back to bed, Sheila and I. We were tired, but so I don't know what the ending results was, or some of these longer videos, just like ours. People don't watch
He
long
didn't
videos
want it,
as
but he
much
got
as
it,
they do.
didn't he? That's what he's
But
bringing.
I found at least a topic interesting and questionable, and I want to do a short video on it. I'll put this on Fred McCoy 40. Just my opinion, guys. Just my 2 cents. Again.
Uh-oh, I always forget I'm on mute. Just in my opinion, y'all can go over there and watch the rest of it that is, on his channel, because, he's got a lot of things coming out right now, and it seems he's pointing the finger to 125, although to me, he's backtracking a little bit. But hey, it is what it is. Don said, the only thing I'm concerned about is Fred is his last name and the property that got searched, right? Right. And I said, I heard your video too, Don, and I agree. People can run their channels the way that they want to. Lord knows I hadn't run mine perfectly, and nobody else has. None of us is perfect, but geez Louise, honey. I don't know. One thing is people, just don't backtrack and just don't act so silly about it, in my opinion. I'm just saying, there's people out here that has put in blood, sweat, tears, whether they were out there or not. It's we've done a lot in the last 5 years, and maybe not finding Summer, but again, like I said, we've lost a lot. It's been crazy. It has been crazy. And we've lost a lot of sleep. You want to talk about you're tired? How you think that neighbor feels when she thought she could breathe, and then now you're bringing her son into it? I'm just saying. Woo, doggy. I don't know. Summer's the one that matters, okay? And I've always called her America's baby. But listen, she needs her grace, she needs dignity, and she needs justice. No matter what happened. Not this feud, not somebody's name, famous, infamous, whatever you want to call it, not because it's a hobby to you. I don't think this is a hobby to any of us. How could it be a hobby going out and searching for missing children? How can that be a hobby? Hobby, I think, is the wrong word, but that's just my opinion. I want to listen to something else. I don't know if they will strike me or not. If they're really for Summer, they won't, but I'm going to play it anyway. Let's listen. At least I'm going to play some of it, okay? Let's listen to this.
You be quiet. You let everybody talk. But obviously, that training is not, because I have been, the need to ask. But I also wanted to ask it in a way that it puts you in, not the light that anyone else would be.
Ernie
And
talked to
let me turn this
Marlena
off.
last night. I found that very
And type this
interesting.
damn thing here.
And I will have
Bars,
to
I tell you.
say, Ernie's been doing a lot
So
of
it
good
puts you in
interviews
a
with
lot
people.
that
He's doing what Fred wants
I
to
don't want to
do.
put you in. I don't want to say
Going
you're
back.
a bad person. I don't want to say that you're not for the right reasons. However, there's a lot that has said that. I've talked to some of the people you know. I'm not going to lie. But that does not mean that you're a bad person at all. You might have made some bad mistakes in life. But hey, we all have. I made a hell of a lot of bad mistakes. I made a bad mistake today when we rushed Jason. We rushed Jason today and literally he went up against the wall. Oh God. Oh, come on, your panel, if Australia not here. Well, look, panel, let me put the link out here for you. And we'll keep all that away. We'll keep that away. We will keep that away. I'm not going to be mean to people. Look at this. It's always thundering and lightning. I don't know why. Every time I get on the night shows, it's always lightning and stuff. We're leaving out the area right now, but I pulled over and I was like, you know what? I need to do this live. I need to thank her.
Let me put a little bit of music on too. Hold on.
The conversation we have, whether people like it or not. Whether people like it or not, you have your saying. You have your ways about doing things, and I have my ways about doing things. Now, I hope and pray that you can see that I am for summer in all aspects of it. Even generally speaking, I am. Now, one thing I do with my show is I try to teach people, the art of investigations and skip tracing. And I tie it in with real cases that I'm actually working in and I'm a part of, especially with boots on the ground. I'll tell you what I'll do. If you're going to come up, we got to do this the right way. If you come up, and I'm going to be respectful to you. I'm not going to threaten you. I don't want to throw you in drama. The link is in the chat, Marlena, if you want to come up. The link is in the chat. And I'm going to respect you. I'm going to respect you because I know you are a mother. And by the way, I guess it's happy birthday to your daughter. Today's my son's birthday.
Ernie Shells. This is Ernie Shells. It's Unlock Your Reality. That's his channel, Unlock Your Reality.
My son lives over in that area.
To Ernie, he did
over in that area.
Interview Marlena last night. He's getting a lot of interviews with people the last few nights.
I just want everybody to be, cordial, have things going that's not going to be drama starting. What's up, girl? Can you hear me? I think you're muted.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for respecting me and, have a decent conversation like adults and let's not both be stubborn.
I thought Ernie
you're not
was
being
Dawn.
SOB
I'm not
and
sure.
I won't be a bitch and we'll get along fine.
And, I admit that I can be that at times and I come off as that. I do. And that's from my history and stuff. It's not always like that. And it's hard for me to take control sometimes of myself to do that and have proper respect.
Pride. It's hard for you to swallow your pride and your ego and not be an SOB. Well, it's the same way for me. It's hard for me to swallow my pride and for me not to be a bitch.
Right. Well, can we do one thing before we start talking?
Sure.
Let's do one thing. Let's change this hat right here. We can put the traditional.
Okay, what happened yesterday or whatever that happened, we put that in the past and let's go forward.
Let's do it.
Let's bury the hatchet right here. This is on your live stream, and everybody that's in your stream and everybody that knows you, we're saying this out loud. We both agree that we're going to bury the hatchet, put that in the past, and that's where it's going to be because we don't live there anymore. We're going forward, and we're going to act like adults, and we're going to talk like adults, and we're going to respect each other like adults.
I agree. You like my hat?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. This thing's like a tradition. I don't know exactly why, but you got to have things that kind of remind you of the things you do. Hell, I've had this everywhere. This hat's like a part of my life. It's
Is
crocodile.
that alligator?
It's rattlesnake. It's leather hat. It's
I
rattlesnake.
thought Ernie gave his
It's
hat away
crocodile.
one time. Did he not
Teeth.
give it away?
It's
How
got
do you look
a winner
familiar to
about
me?
something.
Have I
long time
met
ago?
you somewhere?
Let me turn the light back off on that one. Oh, Lord.
I think I've met you somewhere a time or two, or ran into you a time or two, and you might have not have known who I was.
I used to bounty hunt a lot in that area. I used to be a bounty hunter. They used to call us jump out boys. You know quite a few bounty hunters, don't you?
I know what bounty hunters do, and I've got several that I know. I've got several that has wanted me to work for them, and several that I wanted to get me licensed to work for them.
Probably with AAA.
That is my sister-in-law's best friend and high school friend of years. Yes, Ashley Hunt.
Oh yeah, I know Ashley very well.
Kevin Green, Brian Green.
Yeah, I'm some older ones. I know Brian. I think I know Brian. Yeah, I know a few of them.
But you know, when PG put up the thing that bounty hunters was looking for me, it's funny that every bounty hunter that I knew in this area knew exactly where I was and all that. And then she's like, you know, if Dog was coming to look for me, I told her, I think I made a comment in her post. If Dog was coming to look for me, make sure he brings Leland because I want to play with his handcuffs.
I understand that. Hell.
So if the
put the word out there.
Looking for me like PG said,
well, I will say
every bounty hunter around here knows me, knows my family members, know everything about me. So why didn't they come arrest me?
Well, there ain't no reason to arrest you for.
I don't know. She was acting like I was the big crime of the century that they were coming to get me.
We do have a future recovery network, and I did not put you on there, but I did call a few of them and ask about you. I ain't gonna lie. And they told me.
Did you have any luck finding me by that way? No, you did not, because I am well, let's put it this way. My daddy raised the best coon dog in the South. I'm the best female coon dog he ever made or raised. So if I want to know something, I've got people that I can know something
you
to.
You can put any name you want to.
Oh, I believe that. I believe that 100%. One individual I know for a fact that you know, and that knows about everything that goes on in, let's just say, the Kingsport area. I don't know how about Hawkins County, but I do know the Kingsport area. You pretty much keep a lot of They keep a lot of tabs on it. And I do believe they talk to you. I do. I'm not going to put no names out here, because I mean, let's face it.
I work for certain ones. It just depends on which one needs me at the time. Let's just put it that way. So you're not the only bounty hunter and the investigator on YouTube that boots on the ground. You know what? I even know where you live. If I really wanted to, I could pull up at your door. You want to put money on that?
You bring pizza?
Oh, well, I bring pizza. Well, yeah, sure. You want Little Caesars, Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Plus, what?
Well,
I
don't know.
Pizza Plus, and it has to be
Pizza
cold.
Plus. I used to eat Pizza Plus a lot. They had the barbecue chicken one, and back in the day, it used to be really, really good. It's not too good no more.
I'd be a bitch if I want to. Most people don't hang out with me because they think that I'm a straight up bitch all the time, but I'm not. It just depends on what you do to me for me to react the way I do.
Right. I understand that. Now, Marlena, I understand that there's people that are in a Samuel's case
get into it.
They're involved, involved some way or another. and have been questioned by law enforcement. And I don't want to go into too much about what people can and cannot say. I believe you have
I will not answer nothing for you, Ernie, that might jeopardize my safety, my kids' safety, or my family's safety.
And I can't stress this enough. I don't know if Dawn wants to even back me up on this or not, but you know, what she's saying is right. That should tell people who don't know and who are getting involved in this case, because like I said, we've all done our research, we've all done our due diligence. That's those right here on the screen, her and her family, that's not really names you want to be messing with. And what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, and get out is, when she says she's not going to say nothing to jeopardize her safety, she knows for a fact there's danger. You know, Don said he wants to know who is at risk. But she does know that there is danger. This case is not to be played with, in my opinion.
Does that make sense?
I know what you're meaning. I know exactly what you're talking about. Is it safe to say that, Marlena, is it safe to say that in regards to that, what you just said, I would not put you in the light or in the path of jeopardizing your safety, your kids' safety, or your family's safety? Because I know who we're dealing with. I know who we're dealing with. I know all about it. Now, but on regards
Fred did throw my daughter out there and told where she lived. I mean, Donnie Wells was circling around my mother's house. My mother and her new old man that she's been with after my dad died. He was circling around her house. He didn't have enough common sense to know that my
100%
mom didn't have custody of my youngin. So why in the hell was he circling around my mother's house? You know? And
right,
then, you know, Fred out here telling information about my kid when there's already one missing. He shouldn't be even open. And Fred is family. I mean, and Fred ever comes back to Tennessee, he better have a hell of an army, because there's some people that's not going to put up with that, because he was out here just showing off another kid. For that other kid could be, I mean, we don't know really what happened to Summer. We don't know if she did get took for the 60 grand that he owed, for Donnie owed. We don't know if Candace might have, you know, she might have drowned and, you know, she might have respirated or whatever. We don't know that. But for you to throw my kid out there and for you to tell where my kid was, that's fucked up on his behalf, because that's my youngin. I can't help it that him and Laura decided that they were going to do drugs and tangle together and never had their kids. But don't be out here trying to put somebody else's kid into harm's way.
So, are you familiar with Killer Looks?
I've seen some of his stuff, and I don't think that, I don't know where he's getting his stories from. And I know that he's been to Beach Creek here lately. But he looks like somebody I know. And if it's somebody that I know, he's not going to like me when I get face to face with him.
Hey, Sarah. Good afternoon.
Okay. So he had a question in chat. It kind of got me thinking, like, it's kind of like another question that I had for you, but I didn't want to, you know, I was only gifted 5 questions. It's kind of like being gifted something.
2 more questions, and you disappeared, and I wondered where you went.
I agree.
I was kicked. I was muted and kicked.
Hold on.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't tell her to mute you or kick you.
See, I think, Dawn, no matter, you know, and I don't know exactly what your thinking is, but I think all these people have been dragged in and out of this case for 5 years. I've done my share of it. Everybody's done their share of it, but you know, everybody's done it, whether mistakes, not mistakes, they've done it. And do people know? Probably, because them's the type of people that's just not going to talk. But do I personally think Marlena or Jody Sue or any of those had anything to do with Summer missing? I don't personally, and that's just me. I think it lies within 110. That's what I think. And I could be totally, totally wrong. But, you know, that's just me.
Well,
Because I think our conversation was going quite well.
yeah, I do believe it was going great, to be honest with you. I would say even great. So let me ask you a question. Are
And I
there a
don't
common
think there's no
denominator
sense in
between
dragging all
Summer
these
and Taylor?
people and their children into it now.
No, Taylor is my cousin that died 2 days after or a day after Summer went missing. And that is a total different case. That is a total different thing that happened.
Okay. So let me ask you. Did you mention
My cousin Earl was killed by his own sister and the girl that he was dating at the time.
Now, Earl was found a day after Summer went missing, correct?
Yes, he was. He's found in the creek with no clothes on. He was overdosed. He just came out of rehab. And the girl that he was dating at the time and his sister had plotted and had him OD'd and killed. Summer and Earl Taylor's case is nowhere in the same category. So everybody that's trying to put that Taylor and Summer is in the same category, they're not. And then Taylor's family like for people to keep his name. I mean, I would even like to have his name be kept off of YouTube because it's an ongoing case and it needs to be worked out with the police. And people on YouTube don't even need to start rambling on about that because that has got nothing to do with Summer Wells's case, period.
So,
I don't.
You know, a lot of people, and I'm not saying me, and I would never do you that way, has stated that, that things. And here's the thing. I don't want to put you in danger because I do know things too as well. But you had stated you had said something. Clear me up if I'm wrong here because I don't want to be wrong on this. But you said that you were very sad because someone you loved that passed away in June of 2021. Did I hear that right?
Yes, it was my cousin Earl. And then I had 22 family members die in the same year that Summer went missing. So that whole year, was rough. I lost my kid within that year. I mean, I lost my cousins in that year. I've lost several family members in that year. I mean, it was a rough year.
Understand that. Your opinion,
yes, I was very sad that my cousin went to rehab and got clean. And for him to get out and for his girlfriend and his sister to overdose him. And he was actually like a brother to me, not like a cousin to me. And somebody killed him because he wanted to come back and fix his family and be in his kid's life. That is a sorry way to go because he wanted something different.
That is. And I believe he tried to, I looked into it a little bit. I was talking to some people that knew Earl. And I believe he wanted a different life for himself, and he just couldn't get out of that life that he had already left.
Honey. His sister made him, he was put in the hospital. He's put on respirators for a couple of times. He's almost died a couple of times. He lost his mom and dad within 10 hours apart.
They say it has nothing to do with Summer's case, but there sure was a lot of people who, for whatever reason, ended up deceased around this case and around these people during this time. It's just really sad. And yes, drugs played and still play a big factor in it. Yeah, a lot, Kiki, a lot. A lot of them. So I find what she's saying very interesting to me. Y'all make sure you go sub up to Ernie. Let's see, this week he's did, as far as I know, he may have did more, but he has done Marlena. He's done Andy B. Boy, that really set Jody Sue off. He's done Fred Hill. Who else? He's did somebody else. But he's done a lot of people. So I think what he's doing is he's going down the line. And Ernie does have a way about his interviewing skills, in my opinion. I don't, I'm not rah Ernie either, but I'm just saying, yeah, I think Jody Sue, you might still be talking to Kiki, Tennessee Twister. I think a lot of it, she's afraid, or just paranoid. I don't know. I don't know, but she does record everything, in my opinion. And again, I don't think she should be doing. I don't think she should be doing. I don't think anybody should be dragging her back into this, or her children especially. I agree, Dawn. Nobody should be getting mad over the interviews. They're just interviews. It doesn't, see, I know I've been there twice and didn't ask for either one of them. Didn't ask for either one. I've talked to Dawn and I've talked to Chris and Katie, and I didn't ask for either. Okay? And off the top of my head, off the chain, would I do it again? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I would. But that's the problem here. People talk about hang up on them. No, we won't be going there. Not with me. Not if I talk to them. And whoever does the interviews, stop getting mad. Be glad. Be glad they're talking. Be glad. Be thankful for it. Okay? No matter what. Don said Jody Sue does have mental issues, and we all need to, absolutely, and this right here, and we don't know what she knows or saw or anything, but to drag her kids into it. And I'm not just talking about before Summer got gone. I'm talking about, or when Summer got gone, I'm talking about before that. We just don't know what other people have been through or have to go through. So yeah, I agree. It's all jealousy. Absolutely. It's all jealousy. And one thing about it, I don't care if it's Summer's case. I don't care if it's Monkey's. Thank God Brandy has not had the drama. She did a little bit. She tried, but she nipped it in the bud. She did. She nipped it. Okay. But, a lot of these cases have this drama and these people in it. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what case it is. If there's a case we don't even know about that comes out tomorrow, if it's Summer's case, if it's Sebastian's case, whoever's case, whatever it is, nobody owns these cases. Nobody owns them. I don't care who you're close with. I don't care where you've been. I don't care what you do. There's not one person that owns these cases. There's room for everybody. Everybody. Okay? And I always say, unless you're making up shit. Please don't make up stuff. Please don't lie. Please don't add to, and please don't take away from. Other than that, go for it. Do you. But nobody owns these cases. Nobody.
I mean, it was like he was wanting to get better and get help and be able to be in his children's life and his family's life, because he was so tired of tripping out and acting crazy, and they had overdosed him on antidepressants and all kinds of stuff. So yes, he wanted to get clean and he wanted to make amends and fix his family. And for somebody to plot against him because she didn't want him to leave because, or go back to his family, or his sister didn't want to because she wasn't accepted because she's always a freaking hoe and trying to turn everybody's old man into her brother. I mean, it was just all kinds of stupid shit. And he wanted nothing more but to come out of that rehab and put his family together and be in his family's life because he wanted to be clean. He wanted to do right by his children and his family. And that's a sorry way for somebody just to friggin' kill him because he wanted to do right in life. Finally do right in life and be accepted and be sober.
And he just
that's the crying shame about that, because he wanted to get sober and be in his family's life and getting his kids and do what he's supposed to do right by them, and they just offed him because they couldn't stand that him getting clean.
I understand that. And that's a sad thing. A man most of his life go through that kind of addiction, and then he goes, and he literally takes it on himself to go and get clean, and then get clean, and then all of a sudden think he's got to, and I say he spent a long time, just getting his body to get adjusted to being clean and to getting over the situation, and then finally, say, well, hey, I'm going to be away from these people.
Put in a rehab up here because he had been already in a rehab up here and he had already left. So he made the judge order him to send him to Georgia so he wouldn't be around anybody up here or be able to get home up here. So he done that so that he could stay down there and get clean. And then once he came back, his girlfriend, not his wife wasn't nowhere near him at that night because we got told the night that they found him, they came to our house with the police and told us that he was dead. So his wife is now my brother's old lady.
What?
Yeah.
Even that got Ernie. Even Ernie's
she was with.
Even Ernie's like, what? What? Make that make sense. What? I'm sorry, y'all. I find it hard to believe Ernie's just now hearing that too. But yeah, that's how it rolls up there. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Y'all, full credit goes to Ernie. Unlock Your Reality. That's who's speaking now, and he's speaking to Marlena. So yeah. And I want to say a while ago, I don't know Mohawk's mom, if I'm wrong or not. I could be wrong, but I think Elizabeth is Marlena's middle name, maybe. I think it's somewhere in there. I could be wrong. But anyway, that's probably why she's got it up there as that. But anyway, anybody can, put their whatever they want up there. I could put Bozo up there when I'm going up on somebody's channel. It don't really matter. But Kiki, she's going to tell Fred Hill and her are cousins also. So a lot of people in that holler is kin. A lot of people is kin to everybody. Before Summer went missing and Candace calling her at 4:30, she hugs valuable. I do too. And remember how sick, though, that Summer looked in that picture with her daughter. I don't want to say her name, but her daughter, we all know. Just like the music group, we all know. Marlena will go on to tell also, he's going to ask her about that, and she will go on to tell about that and about the suitcases. So let's continue.
My cousin for 20 some years, and they couldn't get along because, you know, she wanted to get clean and he wanted to still do whatever he wanted to do. And that wasn't the lifestyle for her anymore. So she got out. So she met my brother and then didn't know that they were cousins until after they had been together for several months. And then, you know, even though they went together and she was with his cousin, we were all still family and we was all still best friends. So,
Wow.
you know, and, you know, and I think of their kids. I don't think of their kids as my cousins. I think of their kids as my nieces and my nephews.
And I understand that. You know,
we're family. We pull together, not pull apart.
Now, Marlena, you know, with all that and what you witnessed in your life, I understand that there's things that, you know, that you've talked about that could have been misconstrued and things have happened. Now, if we go back to Summer Wales, you knew Summer and you've been around Summer. Your daughter was pretty much her best friend, correct?
Yes, she was. I was around that little girl since the day she was probably, I'd say 6 months old, 7 months old, in and out of her life, all the way up till she went missing.
And, you know, your daughter is the one that told that, was it a suitcase or a backpack that Dawn was preparing for Summer?
It was a suitcase.
Was it any kind of Pacific suitcase? Was it a special suitcase? Was it something that she had that Candace had got her or Grandis or someone? How did this suitcase come into play?
See, there was always suitcases up there because of his mom and all that. There was always an old suitcase laying around. So they're not looking for one of the newer suitcases that zip or any of that. It's one of the old timey ones that's got the snaps on the end. You know what I'm talking about? Like the older ones, like the 60s or maybe the 70s or late 80s ones. You know what I'm talking about? There's not like the new suitcases.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That his mom had in those buildings and in the, because there was another part to that house that was built on back in the day. It's not always been like that.
Tell me about it. Tell me about what kind of house. What was
it? It wasn't that part where Dawn and Candace live now was built onto the trailers that his mama had up there.
And you was
they
there.
tore down his mama's trailers.
And you was there in the beginning of it, correct?
I was there. I mean, I've been in Dawn and Candace's life ever since he came down here from Arkansas, or whatever, or wherever he came from, Arizona, Arkansas, whatever. Forget Arkansas. When he came down here, he worked for my dad. He did painting for my dad.
So Don did.
Yeah, he didn't work in drywall all the time.
Right. So he worked for your dad. And your dad, what kind of work did your dad do? I'm kind of new to this.
My daddy painted every hospital around here. My dad did houses. My daddy painted hospitals, houses, indoor houses, doctors' offices, all that. My daddy did all that.
Mm-hmm. And Don was just, how did he?
I mean, Don had experience in sheetrock.
So Don worked for her dad before he was able to get a job. So he did some painting and stuff like that. She's saying that he painted all the hospitals, all the doctor's offices, and all those things around there. Also, too, I want to stress, which a lot of you already know, that Dawn and Candace, and their boy, they were never accepted in the Creek area. They were never accepted over there when they moved there. Okay. And so they were always the outsiders. But before he even got a job doing the drywall, which his mother was also a drywaller, I got her book. Again, I still want to know where all them royalties are going to, but whatever. Don admitted to, I think, 40 something dollars. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to the ranch. Yeah. So he met up with Marlena's dad. Marlena's dad gave him a chance, hired him. They painted all these offices and buildings and stuff like that. And that was before Don got his job. So in case y'all missed that, just reiterating that. I'm interested in what questions TBI has Marlena about Don and Ken. Oh, yeah, me too. I would love to know. I would love to know all that. I would love to know.
But when he came down here, he didn't find a company. He didn't get on right away. He met my dad, and my dad told him that he would put him to work. He told him that he didn't know how to paint. So my dad was like, "It's not that hard. I will show you." So my daddy took him in under his wing and showed him how to paint houses and inside and hospitals and doctors' offices and all that.
So, how did he get in touch with your dad? Was he just friends? Did it just happen to find out? Was it like regular applications? Was it, or did he know him, or did he have a leg up? Did he have somebody introduce him to him?
I think he got introduced through Fred. Did he not?
Fred.
He got introduced by Fred Hill. Fred introduced it.
Oh, okay,
Fred
okay.
introduced him to my daddy. So this goes way back, like, wow. Fred's mom and daddy still living. This was at the time that Dawn's mama was still living. This goes back to when he was married to Pamela. I think is her name. Is it Pamela? His first wife.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Before we start anything, did you have any voice clips of Summerwell's?
I
No,
wish he
think I
would
have that.
ask her that.
I don't have that phone.
That is a
What's it?
question I wish she would answer.
Was that turned into law enforcement, that phone?
I turned my phone in that night that they swarmed my house with TBI, FBI, helicopters, 6 carloads of Greene County, 5 carloads of Hopkins County.
So they just swarmed you. They didn't. They didn't give a formal meeting or nothing, an agreement or nothing like that.
No.
They just come up at you.
They swarmed my house and they searched my house, my brother's house, our neighbor's house. They asked us all questions. They had us all in different places and asking the questions. I mean, we had no choice, but we had nowhere to run and nothing else to do, which I didn't run anyway. I told them that they was welcome to come on in my house and search anything they wanted to. They could have my telephone, any of that, because I wanted that little girl found because she was my daughter's friend.
Wow. And so when they came in, was there any really specific questions that they, what was their investigation mostly like? What was it hitting on? Like, could you tell that they wanted one piece of information more than the other?
No, they was just asking if I knew what happened to Summer, which I mean, at the time I didn't know about the swimming expertise. I mean, I did say the stuff I've said on here about Dawn and Candace telling me that, him owing so much money to Knoxville. I asked them if they checked out the guy in Knoxville.
Oh, really?
I asked them, yeah, I did.
So you knew about, wait a minute. So let's talk about that. So you already knew about the guy in Knoxville before Fred even brought it out, right?
I knew about the guy in Knoxville on May the 10th of that year.
May the 10th.
And I knew prior to that, a couple of times that I've went and seen Candace, that she would say he's going to Knoxville for.
So what she's saying is Summer didn't get Dawn until June 15th, but what she's saying is she knew of him prior to, which was May 10th. So yes, May 10th. That's when she knew of him. But look, Ernie's going to ask her about Playboy. Everybody's asked Dawn about Playboy. We want to know who Playboy is. They've asked Andy. Andy shuts down. What is it about Playboy? Playboy, Playboy, wherever you are, come out, come out.
For a couple of days, he ain't made it back, or blah 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 blah.
And does by chance this guy in Knoxville, and you don't have to tell me or not, just say yay or nay if you want to. Does he go by the name of Playboy?
I don't know what he goes by.
Okay. So you don't know in depth on
Did y'all
that
notice how
anything about
she answered that though?
All I knew that he was in Knoxville. I mean, I also heard he was, I'm gonna say this nicely, colored, because that's not usually my word, but I'm just gonna say colored. He was colored for the fact, but I don't know if he was or not. I've just heard what Candace had told me. I mean, but I know that he had made several disappearing acts that she would call throughout the time. Like when we lived, I mean, this happened when we still lived on Beach Creek. Like when my family still lived in Beach Creek at that house before my dad died, he would go and disappear for days at a time.
Listen, I think they all use the N word there.
Sometimes weeks.
Saying.
Sometimes he wouldn't come back for 2 or 3 weeks. So,
wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I've heard of him going and doing little spots here and there in different locations, and someone said that he was picking up. So here's the thing: in the cartel, you have to be somebody in order to get. How can I say this? A pretty much credit line of $60,000.
Somebody that will bat for you, that will say that you're good for that. And that way that they say that you're good for that, then they don't know that it's okay to front you whatever you need. Well, Don had been at this for years. So he's had to work himself up for years to get where he was at in debt. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes a lot of sense. But you have to have a connection in with that.
Going way back when I first came into this case, and Don might remember it. A lot of you might remember it. I know PG does because PG's brought it up before. Possibly even share. I know what I know. And this is before I even got my face or my YouTube, and I was on Facebook. Saw it. I have it. It's in my other disc and in my other computer and in my other phone. Not the ones I keep now. I mean, there's things in this case too that people do to make sure that they're safe. I'm just saying. But anyway, the struggle's real. But I remember early on, and people's going to say, it wasn't true. It was fake, and it was this, and it was that. Well, it could have been. But since she's bringing all this up, I remember seeing a bank account, and I'm going to tell y'all again, maybe you'll listen to me now where you didn't listen to me 5 years ago. There was a bank account, and it was over, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to go back $38,000 or something like that. And a lot of people say, it was fake. It was in the bank account. Well, it had the same number on it when I called the bank. And y'all know I do a lot of calling and all that stuff. So I'm wondering, was that fake, or now that all this is coming out and has come out over the years, not just now coming out, I wonder if, and he bought her that red car and all these things. I'm just wondering, and have always wondered, but they're just, shut up, Smiley, you don't know nothing. Oh, okay. But in my thoughts, in my opinions, I'm wondering too, did somebody let them have some money? Did they let them have some drugs? Did they sell part of it? Did they spend what they wasn't supposed to spend? What? And that bank account, thank you, Mimi Jean, thank you, because I know I'm not crazy. And that bank account, I do not think was false. I don't care how poorly you think they lived or how they looked or anything else. So I do continue to think about that to this day. And I'm sure that surely to God, law enforcement has looked into all that. Surely, but who knows with them. I know it sounds sick, but Don said himself, Summer is worth 60. Yes, he absolutely did. He absolutely did. And if you'll notice, he talks about all of those things. Absolutely. These are things that has come out over the years through Don Wells's mouth, right? Sure has. So yeah. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to. I just happened to think about that.
In order, like you said, in order to get that credit line, you have to know somebody, and you have to have somebody to go to bat for you, like a person that's got money.
Dawn knew somebody, somebody knew somebody. Let's just put it that way.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would that somebody by chance happen to be Tim Mullins?
Oh, listen to this. Listen.
Now, I don't know. I knew that he used to fight chickens, but I don't know about him used to being in the cartel. Because people don't usually just come out and say, hey, I'm in the cartel.
Well, I'm saying Tim Mullins. I'm not saying Morrison. I know there's a little bit of a discrepancy there with the last names, and they're kind of similar, but go ahead.
I know that Mullins and Morrison used to fight chickens.
No, she's talking about Tim, and the reason that I stop it there, we all know that there's pictures out there, and I tried my best to get it out of Don how far back he knew, and he wanted to come up with the damn guy or whatever. Anyway, how far back he knew Tim. But there's photos out there, okay? He didn't get just young 10 days prior or a year prior or when he was flying the plane. I'm just saying. So anyway, I believe he knew Tim way back when. I don't believe Tim just wandered up on that yard and property in some of his videos either before Goody took him over there to meet and,
That's what my dad. But they ain't the type that would tell you, hey, I'm in the cartel. They're not the type that would open their mouth and say, hey, well, I'm in the cartel. No, that's not going to happen.
No, I understand that. So, after some...
Let me tell you this, Ernie. This goes all the way back to 2013. You know what happened in 2013?
Are we talking about the Redmonds and stuff, or
I'm talking about
Rose Bly, any of that?
Tim Morrison that got ran over in Beach Creek?
Wait a minute, Tim Morrison. You talking about the deceased Tim Morrison or the?
That got killed in front of James Light's chicken house. It got run over.
Okay, so someone got run over at James Light's chicken house, correct?
That was when James Light got busted in 2013. That's when James Light went down. That's when the Doxes went down. That's for them all selling the pills and all of them going to prison and Red Lawson and all that.
Ray Morrison. Ray Morrison. Okay, I've heard of Ray Morrison now. That's part of that family line of the Morrisons, correct?
Right.
Okay. I wonder if...
Because Ray Morrison was, I think...
See, they say, not James, they say Ray was a snitch, and they say that's why he got ran over, allegedly, in front of James's house. They say that Fred Hill had some dealings with Frank Light, and Frank Light was part of the cartel. So she's going to talk about all this. I think this is very interesting if you ask me, but hey, it is wild. And Kiki, you are right. See, we've been in this so long. We know pretty much everything about everybody and their brother 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 and their dog and their cats and their mice and their whatever things we don't even want to know. But yeah, it's really wild and it's not good. None of it's good, whether it had anything to do with Summer or not. That's why I told you the other day, I don't know if I had it to do all over again. No, I sure as hell wouldn't. Sure wouldn't. But that's just me.
I think an undercover or was being a snitch at that time is why he got
He
run over.
was a CI, is what I heard.
Why he was a snitch. That's why he got run over.
When I heard that there was like, now, this don't have anything really much to do with Summer, but it talks about the history.
I will say this, my mama, rest her soul, she used to say, why don't you just stop? Why don't you just not do this anymore? And this is when I did Summer and only Summer. Maybe it wasn't nothing important or whatever, but things got out of hand. And I have made many mistakes, many calls, many whatever. Like I said, I hope I never get called to that place for court or anything. But if I will stand tall. But like I used to tell my mama, well, it's a little bit late now, isn't it? It's a little bit late now. Don't be one of those people that it's a little bit late now. Okay? Just don't. Just don't. That's all the advice I can give you. That's just the advice I can give you.
Of the area and the people, the players that's involved in, and how they come up for this. But back
see,
in the end, they had a meeting. I heard they had a meeting.
The most of the old players, like James Lott, Red Lawson, Kenny Lawson, all of those are mostly dead and gone. Most of them didn't even make it out of prison for not even 6 months without them dying. Red Lawson didn't make it out of prison at all.
Yes. We know, we vaguely know a little bit about that.
Here's where it's going to answer your question with, you have to know somebody high up. Okay, Fred Hill had dealings with James Lott. James Lott and one other person was part of the cartel.
So let me ask you something, Marlena. You had mentioned Fred. I heard that there was like, now, this don't have anything really much to do with Summer, but it talks about the history of the area and the people, the players that's involved in, and how they come up for this. But back in the end, they had a meeting. I heard they had a meeting.
The most of the old players, like James Lott, Red Lawson, Kenny Lawson, all of those are mostly dead and gone.
Listen to what she says.
Most of them didn't even make it out of prison for not even 6 months without them dying. Red Lawson didn't make it out of prison at all.
Yes. We know, we vaguely know a little bit about that.
Here's where it's going to answer your question with, you have to know somebody high up. Okay, Fred Hill had dealings with James Lott. James Lott and one other person was part of the cartel.
So let me ask you something, Marlena. You had mentioned Fred Hill again. Now I know that you have a disdain taste for Fred, correct?
No, I don't. One thing I don't like about Fred Hill is that he disrespected a family member for a family member his kid that could have been took by the cartel or been mixed up in the cartel or he's mixed up in the cartel to be telling where my child is.
So let me ask you now, let me get it right. Through genealogy, through Stacy had talked to me, aren't you kin to Fred Hill?
I am kin to Fred Hill through his mother's son.
Through his mother's side. Okay, so
the one that practices witchcraft and keeps little girls in the basement and yeah.
Okay, so you being a family member of Fred Hill, when I talked to Fred, he kind of vaguely didn't know who you are. Do you know him? Would he have known who you are, or have you had like conversations and stuff with him?
How do I not know him? Let's put it this way. How do I not know him when he is family? My daddy went to him and told him about fucking Dawn, saying that he, sacrificed his own daughter. Did you not hear Fred say that in the beginning?
Yes. I mean, I've heard a lot of things, and that's the thing, because people they
Fred
say
don't
these.
Talk about me?
What's that?
Because Fred, I'll come out with the truth, or I'll find out the truth, and I'll tell him, and I'll sell him straight the fuck out, because I have no problem with that. I'm the little smart ass that he does not like.
Wait a minute, Marlene. You just said that you would come out with the truth. Is that something you already know?
No, there's nothing that I already know. He's afraid that I'll find out and come out with the truth that he's not been telling.
So what would you say that he's not been telling?
I think he's a part of this. I think that he knows exactly where Summer is. I know. I mean, I believe in my heart. I believe in my heart, because he was the only one that's slinging dope out of that fucking holler at that time. So, therefore, he knows exactly what happened to Hunter or Summer. He knows, because him and Dawn's too damn close not to know.
So you said earlier that
he's scared that they're going to prison. That's exactly what they're afraid of. Well, what they don't know is Beach Creek is the top place, and I've said this on plenty of lives. Beach Creek is the place that's going to get tired of these lies and these rumors going around, and they're going to solve shit for you, for the police.
So what is and I don't really, at the time he was a juvenile, but what do you believe Hunter's involvement is in this?
Well, I know that he was. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. When I went up there, this is another part. I don't know if you've heard me say it or not. When I went up there in May while Don was gone on his little binge trip, whatever, getting hookers, getting dope, getting fucked up. I don't know what he was doing, but I'm sure he was, because he's in Knoxville. So I guess that's where Candace said he always went to get fucked up and all that. But anyway, Candace comes at me and says, what do you feel about my age of a woman dating somebody under the age of 18? That's what she said.
And what was your response to that? Was you like,
my response was, that is not a healthy thing. That is child, rape, but that's all kinds of different stuff. Exactly what I said. That is a lot of things that's going to get you charges. Exactly what I told her. I said, and now if I were you, I would leave it alone. Now, if anybody's 18 and older, that's a different story, because it don't matter if you're 18 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy is what we've always been told all of our years. Because once you're 18, you're an adult and you have a right to do what you want to do.
and now when she come to you with this, about how far was this in from, was it after Summer went missing or before Summer went missing?
This is before Summer went missing. This is the month before Summer went missing.
Okay. So I was talking to somebody today, and I don't know why they named this person. I guess they watched my show, because, we had Chillbilly. I don't know if you're familiar with his YouTube name, Chillbilly.
Oh, yeah. Chillbilly was the other one you did an interview with.
I don't watch anybody hardly ever. I quit watching after a long time because after PG did what she did to me and
I
slung
think,
me
in
under
my
the bus
opinion,
and lipstick me the
100%.
way she done me and cut my videos and made me sound like that I was the most evilest fucking person out here. And the only thing that I've ever told any of them was the truth. Only thing I want is Summer to be found, whether she's lied or alive or she's passed. Because I think that youngin that youngin, if she has been unalived or whatever, is that youngin still deserves a resting spot.
And I believe that as well. However, I am not these other creators, and have I treated you unfairly in any way possible?
No, just don't ever say that you're going to hunt me, because let me tell you, the person that's hunting you can always be the hunted.
Okay, I understand that. 100%.
Do you understand that? Because I'm that type of girl that will pull up to your house, stand on your lawn at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, blowing the horn and telling you to get your ass out of bed and come out here and say it to my face.
Well, just bring pizza or bring something to eat, maybe some tacos with meat and cheese only, and we'll be good with that. Going back to this, Marlene, it's very important that Andy Bernard, he was a guest on my show the other night, and he had quite a few things to say, but one thing that caught my attention is when I brought Summer Wells' photo up, he started bawling and pretty much can't stand Dawn, can't stand Candace, and he pretty much, and I asked, what's the reason?
Let me ask you something, Arnie. You know what? When a man has got a guilty conscience and it eats at him, how's he going to react? You've been an investigator all your life. Tell me how he's going to react.
Well, I mean, again, I'm not here to pass judgment on no one. And yes, do I have my personal feelings?
Just your personal thought, not hold it against anybody. Go back to your investigating years. If you would have pulled up a picture of that and somebody acted like that, what would you think? Would their conscience be?
I believe Andy was on the road that day. Why? I don't know. I believe there's a lot more to this entire story than everybody's saying. But I still believe it lies at 110. But yeah, I believe you're correct, Sharon, in that part. I do. I think you're correct in saying that. So yeah.
Well, I have broke a lot of people, and I'm not saying, I asked why, and he said it's because his kid was taken because of Don and Candace, which kind of threw me off a little bit. But let me ask you a question. Hold that thought. What is your opinion on Andy Bernard? What is your opinion? I've never heard it. I've never heard you give your opinion when it comes to the Summer Wells case.
He knows.
Hey, he knows. See you, honey.
He absolutely knows. He knows exactly what he's ever done. He knows exactly what he's ever sold them. And if I ever find out, I have took my daughter to the doctor, and I know that she hadn't been messed with. But I tell you what, if I ever find out that he has ever sold any drugs for any kid to be treated the way that they have described it, or any of that, he's a sorry piece of shit.
Okay, hold up on that. Now you just made a statement that you took your daughter to get checked by a professional to make sure that that she had never been messed with. So my question is, what would give you the reason to believe that she had? Are there something in the past that maybe that kind of alluded to the part that something like that may have happened?
Because it was funny, after Summer went missing, I got DCS on my doorstep saying that me and my sister-in-law had messed with my daughter, my stepdaughter, and they both had to be go checked because of the Summer Wells case, because of what people got on there and said. So DCS came knocking on my door.
And who had now this is, how far along is this after Summer went missing? Is this like a direct link for CPS?
See, Don, I wonder that too, because when you go in there, I mean, why is there no footage from all this? I mean, is that something that the police has? Is it something that they didn't try to get to later and it was erased or ran over or whatever? Um, but yeah, where is all these people, including the red truck and everybody going in and out of there? I'm going to tell you, you go in there, everybody knows you're there regardless. So where are these videos and stuff? That's a very good question. Does law enforcement have those videos? Do they? Do they still have them? You know, will that come out one day?
Because of Summer Wells' case, or was it a little bit afterwards?
I even had a friggin' DCS caseworker that was a YouTuber that was hired by Lips to try to get my rights taken away. And what she didn't already know, that my sister had already had signed over custody.
Wait a minute. Now you're saying there was a YouTuber that worked in DCS. So ain't that a conflict of interest automatically?
That's exactly what the judge said. They already told me that I was the judge told me I was a good parent because at that time my dad had passed away. This is after my dad had passed away and I had started talking to Lips. And that judge told me that he wished he had more mothers that acted like me, that would put their kids in safety, that would give them a roof over their head and give them up, even though that, she wasn't with me. So therefore, yeah, Lips is the one that started the thing about me losing my kid. But I had become homeless because my dad's original house was taken away from us because it was supposed to have been paid off, but the landlord screwed us over. So when my dad died, he took the house from us. So I became homeless, but I had already put my youngin' with my sister for her to go to school, for her to have a place to sleep, a shower, for her to have a place to eat, for her to get back and forth the way to school, all of that. But Lips tried to make it look like that they tried to charge me, she tried to get me with neglect, drug abuse, making moonshine. There were several charges that they tried to go against me for. And when they did, they pulled the drug test from my hair. I passed it. My daughter passed it. My kid's dad passed it. Everybody that was around us passed it because they did hair. There's no way you could beat hair. You can beat everything else. You can beat urine, you can beat saliva, all that, but you cannot beat your hair.
Now, you mentioned this phone call you had with Candace, and you know the exact time, it being 4:37 p.m., that this phone call allegedly taken place of Candace. Now, can you walk me through that? I know I asked that question over there earlier, and we was interrupted a lot, but can you walk me through? So here it goes. The phone rings, right? Is your phone's vibrating or is it ringing?
It is. It's on vibrate because I was laying in the bed. I was me and my kid's dad was asleep that day, and my phone was laying on the headboard, so it started vibrating from Messenger. She called me through Facebook Messenger.
Okay, so it's through Facebook Messenger.
Yes, it was through Facebook Messenger. It wasn't through a regular phone call. It was through Messenger.
Now that you mentioned Facebook Messenger, now let me ask you a question. Now I know because of all the uproar and of the summer going missing and everything. Now we're going to go back to this, but listen, do you still have the same Facebook account that you did years ago, or do you have a different one now?
I have a different one now. I don't have the same because there's so many YouTube creators coming after me that they had took my phone. I couldn't get back in because it was send the code to the number that I already had. So I couldn't get back into it. So no, I can't get back to those messages. I can't get back to the phone calls. Nothing, because I can't. I wish I could. I wished I could, just to make somebody believe me that she called me through Messenger.
I understand that because it would actually show that time, date, placement, phone call was made, and this is what took place of how many minutes. Well, how long would you say that you two were on the phone? So say the phone. Okay, so Facebook Messenger, it's making that little weird kind of noise it always does, and all of a sudden you pick up. How long would you say the phone call was?
I'd say maybe 10 minutes tops.
Okay, so 10 minutes. So let's do this. Let's buy it a little bit of time. Let's give it a little extra, minute in the beginning, a minute at the end. Let's put 12 minutes just in case. Would that be safe?
That'd be safe. About 12 minutes, yeah.
Okay, let's say 12 minutes. So let's say 12 minutes. Now the phone rings, and Candace is, and you. Okay, so you see, you pick it, you roll over, you look at it, and it's Candace. It's Candace Wells.
It vibrates on the head of the bed. So I get up and cross over my kid's dad and go outside on the porch because he is still asleep. I go out on the porch and I answer it.
Okay, so you went out on the porch. So you left your position on where you was at, and you roll up out of the bed. You got the phone, and you're like, well, I'm going to take this outside, right? I mean, that's normal. So you go outside where you can be alone. Nobody's with you. Nobody, no time and everything. 4:37 p.m. And you get out here. You open the phone up, and then was it on FaceTime? Was it like on the Facebook Messenger? Was it video or was it an audio call?
It was just a regular call. It wasn't on video.
Okay, so it's an audio call.
Yeah.
So it's an audio call, and you grab this. Yeah. You grab this phone. You grab the phone up, and you're like, you're opening it up. You're looking. You see it's Candace Wells, and you're like, okay. So you say,
at that time it was Candace Bly. At that time, it was Candace Bly.
Candace Bly, right? And you open it up, and you're like, hello, correct? Everybody says hello.
I said, yeah, what's up, girl? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, like slang and stuff. Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
It was like, hey, what's up? What's going on? What? I mean, I ain't heard from you in a few days. What's going on? And then she tells me, well,
for being here,
Summer's missing. And I'm like, what do you mean she's missing? And she was like, I went in the house to cook the kids something to eat, and she was out on her swing, and she was swinging. And then I went to turn around to look, and she was gone.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and narrow it down to you for this. Okay, in that one statement. One, she never cooked for them kids. Two, that kid would have never went off that hill. That kid wouldn't have went off that hill by herself whatsoever. She knew better. And three, there was 15 dogs on that hill. If you've ever been there, there's been.
I've been there. I've been there. And the dogs start as soon as you hit the hill.
All right, Fred.
Right. That's what Chris don't understand. As soon as you.
Fred, number 2. I'm going to back this up a minute. This is somebody that would know right here. Let's hear this again.
Let me ask you a question. Now, I know because of all the uproar and of the summer going missing and everything. Now, we're going to go back to this, but listen. Do you still have the same Facebook account that you did years ago, or do you have a different one now?
I have a different one now. I don't have the same. Because there's so many YouTube creators coming after me that they had took my phone. I couldn't get back in because it was send the code to the number that I already had. So I couldn't get back into it. So no, I can't get back to those messages. I can't get back to the phone calls. Nothing, because I can't. I wish I could. I wish I could, just to make somebody believe me that she called me through Messenger.
I understand that because it would actually show that time, date, placement, phone call was made, and this is what took place of how many minutes. Well, how long would you say that you two were on the phone? So say the phone. Okay, so Facebook Messenger, it's making that little weird kind of noise it always does, and all of a sudden you pick up. How long would you say the phone call was?
I'd say maybe 10 minutes tops.
Okay, 10? So 10 minutes. So let's do this. Let's buy it a little bit of time. Let's give it a little extra, minute in the beginning, a minute at the end. Let's put 12 minutes just in case. Would that be safe?
That'd be safe. About 12 minutes, yeah.
Okay, let's say 12 minutes. So let's say 12 minutes. Now the phone rings, and Candace is, and you, okay, so you see, you pick it, you roll over, you say, you look at it, and it's Candace. It's Candace
Actually,
Wells.
it vibrates on the head of the bed. So I get up and cross over my kid's dad and go outside on the porch because he is still asleep. I go out on the porch and I answer it.
Okay, so you went out on the porch. So you left your position on where you was at, and you roll up out of the bed. You grab the phone, and you're like, well, I'm going to take this outside, right? I mean, that's normal. So you go outside where you can be alone. Nobody's with you. Nobody, no time and everything. 4:37 p.m. And you get out here. You open the phone up. And then, was it on FaceTime? Was it like on the Facebook Messenger? Was it video or was it an audio call?
It was just a regular call. It wasn't on video.
Okay, so it's an audio call.
Yeah.
So it's an audio call. And you grab this, you grab this phone, you grab the phone up, and you're like, you're opening it up, you're looking, you see it's Candace Wells. And you're like, okay, so you say.
At that time, it was Candace Bly. At that time, it was Candace Bly.
Candace Bly, right? And you open it up, and you're like, hello, correct? Everybody says hello.
I said, yeah, what's up, girl? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, like slang and stuff. Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
It was like, hey, what's up? What's going on? What? I mean, I ain't heard from you in a few days. What's going on? And then she tells me, well, Summer's missing. And I'm like, what do you mean she's missing? And she was like, I went in the house to cook the kids something to eat, and she was out on her swing, and she was swinging. And then I went to turn around to look, and she was gone.
So are y'all hearing that? This is yet another story. Whether it's true or not, or whether she told Marlena that or not, I don't know. And neither does anybody else. But it's very interesting. You see why Jody's title, what I was talking about, you need to listen, you need to research. The devil's in the details. How many stories have changed? There's been so many stories to this and what's happened to Summer and where Summer was and if she was planting flowers and if not and blah, blah, blah. You know, read between the lines. In my opinion, the devil is in the details.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and narrow it down to you for this. Okay, in that just that one statement. One, she never cooked for them kids. Two, that kid would have never went off that hill. That kid wouldn't have went off that hill by herself whatsoever. She knew better. And three, there was 15 dogs on that hill. If you've ever been there, there's been.
I've been there. I've been there. And the dogs start as soon as you hit the hill.
Right. That's what Crystal don't understand. As soon as you pull in that driveway and come up that rough driveway, them dogs start on you as soon as you walk or come up that driveway.
They meet you down the hill.
Right. They meet you as soon as you hit below that gate and going up that hill. They meet you right there. And they will follow you all the way to the top and raise hell the whole entire way.
Exactly right. And they do not shut up until somebody demands them to shut up.
And Donnie usually has to holler at them about 4 or 5 times. Candace has to holler till she can't holler no more and threaten to whoop their ass.
So Jody Sue mentioned that these dogs were completely gone. So that, I mean, what I don't understand is, Marlena, is why
were they gone? Why was they gone at that point in time and only on that day? Donnie always had dogs. They always there. So
yeah,
who
I
helped
think
him
that's
take away the dogs?
I think they were there too. I think that's just a running joke that everybody uses. For those that don't know, Don knows, but the dogs, you know, in my opinion, was there. You know, they didn't just all get in the car and go to Hawaii. They didn't. And that's another reason that I always said from day one, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the freaking neighbor. And then I heard somebody say, oh, well, if you drop them meat, if you do this, if you do, okay, you know, but here's the thing. Not for 15 of them. Try it. Not for 15 of them. Okay. See what's going to happen at that point. The dogs were there. Nobody didn't just go up on that hill with, like I said, we at least know 3 children were there. 4 children, sorry. We at least know Grandis was there and Candace was there. You got broken down cars. You got a bus. You got a camper a few feet within the house. You're not going to make me believe that, but they could be, but so let's just see. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I believe the dogs were there, but I guess we'll find out at some point. I hope so.
It's like it's plotted. It's like that Dawn and them had help to do the things that they did. So who is all involved with that? Who's involved with helping catching 15 dogs to put them in a barn stall or a barn down below the hill or whatever it is? Who was involved to help them catch all of them? Ernie, if you was there, them's 15 dogs, a good 20 at the most. Hello?
Okay, I think that's the part where he actually does come back up for just a minute, but I think it actually goes back out again. I don't know if he's running into rain or bad storms or whatever, but unfortunately, y'all will have to go over to Ernie's and hear the rest of it. And, I don't know what he's got in mind for tonight, but people are starting to talk. They are starting to talk. And yeah, they had puppies under the house also. That's right, Sharon. They sure did. And the next one, they was on Dolly. I haven't got to watch that one yet, Cassie, but I will. I will. Summer matters, and she needs to be found. Again, like I always say, she needs her grace, her dignity, and she needs justice. I don't believe she fell in no hole. I don't believe no animal got a hold of her. I don't. That's just me, my opinion. You can have your opinion, and I'll have my opinion. We can all agree to disagree. It's fine. I promise it's fine. But, the more you hear and the more you go back, the more you remember. And then the more you go, well, I don't know that this could even be true or not. I went back, I listened to old videos, and today I played some old videos. I listened to Ernie's new interview with Marlena, and I listened to his other interviews here in the last week or so. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got out there again. I've never been a big one to go over to Ernie's or anything like that, but he's doing, in my opinion, a good job, in my opinion. And he does have a way of doing these things. And after all of these years, one thing has not changed. This little girl right here, Summer Moon Utah Wells, she's still missing. She's still missing. Our opinions may change. Our theories may change. Mine haven't. I'm still looking at 110, but that's just me. And I could be wrong. I have not always been right about everything. But that's just what my heart and my gut tells me. The conversations may change, but everything in the truth is the truth. And everything the truth says keeps screaming the same thing. And it's a fact that Summer Moon Utah Wells is still gone. She disappeared on June 15th, 2021, and somebody somewhere knows where or what happened to her. if any of you have any information, it don't matter how small or how unimportant you think it is, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Please. Yeah, exactly. I think so too. You know, but don't tell social media, don't come out here and do that with any child. Call the police, the real police, the police who's the police now, you know. This is about Summer, and she deserves to be found. And we're going to keep talking about her. Evidently, it don't matter how quiet you want to be. Until she's found, you know, she's going to keep being talked about. That's just the way it is. Unburden your soul. Unburden your soul. I'm going to play Summer's song out. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you, Don B, for coming over. Thank you, everybody. Mama Bear, I seen in here. I seen a lot of people come. Tennessee Twister, Kiki, a lot of people. Thank you for coming in, you know, and supporting Summer. Thank you for that. Thank you. We'll talk later, and I'll see you in these streets. Let's play this song out.
June 15th, Tennessee, Ben Hill Road still calls to me.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot I had it turned down. Hold on a minute.
Little barefoot angel child, blue-eyed smile and spirit wild, 5 years old with golden hair, love and laughter everywhere, purple dresses swinging high, twirling circles in the summer sky. Oh, summer moon, Utah wells, your story still hurts like hell. No footprints left, no goodbye, just questions underneath these Tennessee skies. And sweet girl, wherever you are, you still shine like a northern star. The world still whispers your name, and not a soul has forgot your face. Thousands searched those hills and trees, church bells rang through Tennessee. TBI and FBI, still no answer, still asking why. Time kept moving, years rolled by, but some wounds never say goodbye. 22 it says, and silence remains. Still people cry when they speak your name. Oh, summer moon, Utah wells, your story still hurts like hell. No footprints left, no goodbye, just questions underneath these Tennessee skies. And sweet girl, wherever you are, you still shine like a northern star. The world still whispers your name, and not a soul has forgot your face. Summer, you never left my heart. I'm sorry this world could not find you. I'm sorry answers never came. But little girl, you matter, you still matter. And somewhere beyond all this pain, I believe you dance again. Oh, summer moon, Utah wells, heaven still remembers well. A little girl with love inside, whose light this world could never hide. And sweet child, if angels sing, I hope they sing your favorite things. Purple sunsets, summer rain, and puppy You always have a place in Smiley's heart, and in the world's heart too. We will never stop remembering.